I'm hot. All right, everyone. Welcome to the AMA Rogue Energy Series here in the Cactus 200 here tonight from Phoenix Raceway. Here tonight going to be a great short track race here. And in the booth with me here tonight, our new full-time Xfinity co-commentator, Mr. Dakota Bruff. Yeah, got me, Mr. Bruff. I am a fantastic buddy, doing fantastic. I'm glad to see you out here. Of course, we talked this week, man, and you asked. I said, well, man, come on out. And here we are, ready to go here tonight. All right. Well, folks, we're going to get his Discord a little tuned in here, and then we'll be ready to go. Again, this is going to be a fun one here tonight as we're ready to rock and roll here from Phoenix Raceway. All of the Xfinity drivers are here for the second race of the week. As a reminder, the Truck Series tomorrow night off this week. They'll be back in action 1 week from tonight. Or from tomorrow night, excuse me. But tonight, man, we got Xfinity cars here at Phoenix. What's your expectations?
I'm expecting a lot of tough, close battles, but at the same time, I'm hoping for a lot of green flag runs, maybe some green flag pit stops. Try to see who can get an advantage on maybe the head of that next person.
There you go, man. That's going to be the key all night here as we see Matthew Trimby up top, Frederick there, Mr. Alex in third, Kyle fourth. Anthony Braille, Mark Morton, George Glover, David Dunwoody here back with us here tonight in 10th, Jeremiah Fortain, Kyle Heath, Kevin Gettenberger, Adam O'Brien out here. We got a strong field of about right at that 38 car cutoff limit.
Yeah, this full field's going to be charging hard. Coming out of qualifying, you're going to want to try and be towards that front, but at the same time, as long as the race is, it could be, if it stays long and green, you may just want to hold tight and just save your car.
That's all you can do here tonight. Try to hold on, try to save what you got till the bitter end. We saw it the other last night in the Cup Series. Tire wear became a factor rather quickly. I think we'll see the same thing here tonight.
Yeah, tires are everything. Tires are key. As a driver myself, man, these Xfinity cars are known to stick, and Xfinity can be a little bit loose depending on the weather and the tendency and how much rubber is laid down. These cars could either be a slippery slope or they could be going.
There we go. Well, let's take a look. We're going to get qualifying underway here momentarily. Getting ready for qualifying. 4 minutes to go. Here, of course, it's really a short time to get a run in. But these guys are going to give it a go here tonight. And right now on the track, going to be Alex already out there getting that car up to speed. Brian Sharp, James rolling out, and so is Jeremiah Fortain and Jeffrey Stiles, Kyle Heath, Kirby back there in the mix also. As everybody starts to get up to speed, including Zane Bailey here. Man, I think we're going to see some comers and goers here this evening.
Yeah, I'm looking maybe the first 20, 30 laps. You might see a caution or two. Kind of pick the feathers out of the bird before you eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all you can do, right? Just kind of pick it together and figure out what you need to do here. As George out front, Colby right here in the 20 machine coming through that tricky dog leg. We saw how tricky in the Cup cars that dog leg was. You think it's going to be just as hard here in these Xfinity cars?
At first, I don't believe when the tires are fresh, they're going to be grabbing. That bottom line is going to be where you're gonna want to be at. But as you wear them tires off more and more, when you hit that apron line, it's a pretty steep bank coming off that bank. So when you hit that apron, it can jar that car pretty good. And I've seen some incidents here before just from that line being thrown. So we'll have to see.
Yes, sir. It's Harley Day right there. Matthew out front. Alex there as well. Michael Kirk. David Dunwoody here on track. But again, Matthew doing a wonderful job holding on to that pole position right now. And Jeff Scott's rolling. David Dunwoody still coming up to speed, so we still got a lot of cars to come up to speed here and get these things rolling tonight. That's David Dunwoody out of the Black Magic camp. Of course, good to see Black Magic back on track here with us tonight. Derek there as well in the 7 on track. He'll get ready to go. But how important do you think the qualifying here is going to be here tonight,
I think it's going to be tough. I think they're going to pile up pretty close to each other. I think times are going to be real close. If it was me, I want to be top 6, maybe top 7. If I am the lead, that's good. Everybody wants that pole, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you don't want to be the guy leading the race and burning your stuff up too fast either. So if it was me, I'd probably want to be in that 2nd to 6th place range and just kind of ride it out for a bit, man. Let the pit strategy kind of come into effect and see how these cautions throw too.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be about stabilizing your car. Once you get stabilized and you can control it and you'll be all right. It's just keeping your nose out of trouble.
There you go. Kyle now topping the charts. Great job for Kyle. He'll jump up there on top of the charts for a moment.
I'm liking the look of this 7 car. Kind of reminds me of my hometown guy here. Actually, an ARCA Daytona winner, Greg Van Alst. They went out with a new guy this week, and his car's been red, yellow, and black. Kind of reminds me of my hometown guy.
There you go. And he'll wrap up his time. Kyle still top of the board. Derek going to move to 21st. Colby right here in 19th. Mark Morton and George Glover right there in the 12th spot in the 26th machine as well. So we got a couple of cars here really fast tonight down into the 27 Mo's, 27 ones. Dakota, that's going to make it interesting. Those speeds nice and tight together.
Yeah, gonna be on the struggle bus, and I apologize to all of our viewers here. Being new, I'm not familiar with a lot of the drivers, so as I'm gonna be calling numbers tonight, I just want to go ahead and apologize ahead of time. Learning the names or the name of the game.
There you go. You'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. Well, we got about 30 seconds, so while we get ready to go, we will step away, thank our partners, and roll to commercial break, and we'll be back for the beginning of the Cactus 200 here tonight. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back here tonight as we get ready to roll here at the Phoenix Raceway here. Everybody ready to get at her one more time here tonight. We'll take an overview of where everybody sits here in just a moment. But man, this one going to be interesting. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Cactus 200 here tonight as we get them all ready to go. Kyle, Matthew on the front row. Stephen Kirby along with Alex, Jeremiah Forner, Frederick there, Anthony Landry, Kyle Heath, Zane Bailey, Braille. Then it's going to be Michael Marcotte and Mr. George Glover alongside there in row number 6, row number 7, Mark Morton, Owen Lax right now in row 7. Kobe and Pat O'Brien. Then it's going to be Kevin Gittenberger, John Hooch is there, as well as Garrett Austin Hurley Day rolling off from the 20th spot, 21st. Jeffrey Stiles, Derek Jewett there as well. 23rd, Kendall Paul. 24th, Ted Craven. 25th tonight, James Wagner and Mr. Jeff Scott. Brian Sharp going to roll 27th. Michael Kirk, 28th. 29th on the field, Jason Sutherland, James Hodgins right there as well, Sean Williams and Christopher Melton. Then it's going to be Andrew Miller and David Dunwoody, Adam O'Brien and Brandon Hinton. 36th on the field, Jordan Parker, 37th. Corey Swanger, 38th. And that's the way they wind up here tonight as we are ready to go. It is go time here in Phoenix, boys and girls. Well, this is going to be a battle of wits up front. So what's your thoughts here, Dakota, as we're getting these cars rolling? If you're rolling around pre-race, what's rolling through your head here?
Composure. Composure is everything, and patience. Patience is key. A long race, you're going to want to save, but at the same time, you got to get aggressive at some point. You don't want to fall too far back from these leaders, and you don't want to burn your stuff up too early. So depending on how the cautions fall here at the start, I look for the start to kind of be a little racy, but it's going to die off pretty quick, I think.
And there you go. And if it doesn't, you're going to burn those tires up. And
You don't want to find yourself out. You don't want to be that guy left out there, left too low, and you fall too far back. It's hard to gain, especially on long green flag runs.
Yes, it is. Right now, though, we are ready. Lights off the top of the pace car. And again, this reconfiguration as well kind of throws us off also.
Yeah, having the open dog leg, the new style layout, they refigured the track, I think, 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe. Not 100% sure, so don't mark that. But the open dog leg gives it that little extra couple tenths of a second sometimes when you got the tires in the car. But when you wear them tires off, it also can take drastic turns with that apron line.
Yeah, it does. So you wear these things out, the thing starts to dance around, and you got your hands full. But at least here for the first lap or so, everybody can relax a little bit. We got fresh tires on these cars, but we're ready to go. Try not to get poked by the Cactus, because the Cactus 200 is underway in Phoenix. Already, watch it. Oh!
Heck of a block there by that. What is it, the 51 car and the 10 there? They're kind of aggressive there for the start for me. If I was him, I might, cool it back a little bit. It's a little too early for that.
He did throw one heck of a block down into the corner there for just a moment, and now it's side by side up front. And
as you see him slide, he's a little loose there. He's driving a little too hard. Tires ain't warm yet.
And here we go. Here's a good example. Already starting to run down to the bottom. Right, and try to hold on here the best you can. And again, these cars are all but sideways right now.
Yeah, as you can see, our second place guy here, he's following, and he's kind of holding the third and fourth place guy back, choking up a little early, but he's just backing up his line. As you can see, as he comes off the corner, he can stay about the same distance. He's just backing up his entrance.
And there we go. We got a caution on the racetrack. Ted Craven involved. We'll get you a replay of that momentarily as we slow down. First incident really of the night here brings us to caution for the first time. So let's go see. Roundabout.
As I said before, it's an early game. It's all about being patient. You're going to see the first, 30 laps. You may have 1, 2, 3 cautions maybe. That's probably what I'm calling for. And then after that, look out. It's going to be a long haul.
There you go. You saw that mess there on the back straightaway. Nearly caught a couple of guys out there.
Yeah, 1 or 2 out. I don't think they're out early. It was a good lick, don't get me wrong, but they'll be back. They may lose a lap or 2, but it's a long race, man. They got enough time to get it fixed back up. It's just going to be patience. Yeah,
and that's going to be the hard part. Right all night here. Patience is going to play a definite role in this field here tonight.
Yeah, and as you see the green 88 car missing his rear bumper, if I was that guy, you come in, take it as you go. Don't lose a lap. You see that pace car rounding 3 and 4, you better roll off that pit and stay ahead of him. You might take 20, 30 seconds here and there, but it all adds up in the end, and you don't want to lose that track time.
All right, we're going to fight the iRacing server here. Same problem we had there a few nights ago. Ever since this update, it's been a chore fighting the servers a little bit. Not only for races, guys, but even we had a little bit of rough go with official racing as well.
Yeah, these updates and everything, when they drop week 13, you know it's hectic. It's bug week. Everybody knows it. It's just, you got to take it with the flow of the paper, I guess, you know. Sometimes you get the short end of the stick of it.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. I hate it when it happens, but that's just kind of the way it goes.
Looking at this restart here, I don't know the restart rules here. Is it on the restart zone on the leader?
It'll be the restart zone on the leader.
Okay. Leader can take us off here. Do they do lane choice? No?
No lane choice, okay. Unfortunately. We're working on that. Maybe next year.
Alrighty.
But, man, this is going to be good as we get ready to go here. And again, we are fighting a little bit, if you'll hang tight with me, guys, because we're fighting a little bit of overlay / iracing debacles. My overlay's not talking to iracing. So that makes things interesting, now doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get camera control back here in a moment. But to your point, I think the main thing we're going to see early on, just keeping that car straight on track and okay.
Patience is key, as I said before. You want to stay out of trouble, and mainly these races, you always look for the long run. You want to be there at the end. You don't want to ruin it too early, but at the same time, you don't want to lose too early. It's the race game. You know how it is. You either go or you don't.
It's like this, man. You know, you lose it on the first lap, but you're not going to win it on the first lap.
Oh, never. Yeah, I don't know how many laps we're turning here tonight, but I can't see any overlays. But looking at it from the way
it'll be 200.
Oh yeah, This is a long race, guys. You're just gonna want to hold off, save your tires. I imagine these guys only get like probably 3 or 4 sets, maybe. So I imagine tires is gonna be the name of the game. You're gonna want to hold these as best you can. You're not gonna want to loop your car. You want to stay as straight as possible.
Yeah, that is going to be the key as we get ready to go here, is taking care of that car. And we are back underway here. We'll get the camera swapped over for you guys. And I think our control panel is back. That was not fun doing without a control panel for a moment. But yeah, man, this is going to be very, very interesting.
Someone into the wall off turn 4 back here.
Oh, that's not good. There's Kyle.
Yeah.
Continuing to lead 2x2 behind him.
You see the 57 diving way down there. You see him jump about 2-3 lengths down lower on that track. He might gain 50, 100 feet right there, but as you can see, the 6 car gets that momentum slinging right back, and he can just carry it right on around him.
Yeah, and there you go, right? That just kind of catches you off guard. You know, you go down there, you try to get that run, it gives you a bad angle, and from there, it's hard to get that car. We got a block up front. Look at that.
Yeah, the 51 throwing blocks for days, it seems like. That 10 car's being patient with him, though, as he looks to the inside of him.
And we got another yellow on the racetrack. That's going to put the water on that battle we were just watching. But, man, what a block that was moments ago.
Yeah, as I said earlier, being 200 laps, man, you want to be patient. Throwing blocks like that might irritate that guy behind you, and it can cause some future problems in this race, if not, frustrations for sure. It's going to be a tight-knit race. This is going to be exciting to watch here.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be very exciting as we work our way through, coming down towards the end of this one, or the end of the stage. It will get really, really hectic in stage 1 once we get down to the end of it.
Yeah, as you can see, there's already 4, 5, 6 cars. As you can see, scrapes, dents. This ain't a track of body work. You can put a little bit of dents, dings, and it ain't gonna hurt you so bad here. It's more or less trying to keep your toe intact and not burn your tires.
Yeah, that becomes the issue, right?
Yeah, being a shorter track, a mile and a half. Arrow helps here, being the type of track it is, and almost like a D shape with the back straightaway. It's more or less just drivability. You don't want to knock the toe. You don't want to burn them tires up. You don't want to do anything to alter your suspension that could all possibly hurt you, and even further in the long run too.
Right. Yeah, and that's going to be the thing we battle all night, in my opinion, as we continue to skirt forward here in this one. I'm a little surprised with the yellows early, but we know what this place here at Phoenix is a really hard place to negotiate.
Oh yeah, and as you see, I'm pretty sure, I don't know their schedule. They'll come back here at the end of the season to battle it out, I'm sure, for the championship, and if I'm correct. And usually this track is known not to give. Now there'll be a little give and take here. They're just starting out the season, but as this season stretches out that championship and we come back here, you're going to see a completely different race.
Right. I don't think that you can take it too easy here, because the single fact of the matter is, to your point, we come back here in just a couple of months to decide a championship. So my take on it would be, I don't think that you can be all of that nice and easy on it tonight.
No, points are going to be everything. You want to get everything possible. We might be, the fourth race into the season right now, but points are everything. One position is 1 point. So that one position you may lose in that one race could be your deciding factor at the end of this championship. It only takes 1 point.
Correct. And there you go. And that would be the thing these guys fight the most here, I think, is how do you manage that early on expectation of, go race hard, win races, with that later of the year mentality of, I don't need to race that hard.
Yeah, kind of looking at these 200 lap races like this, I kind of look at it like my short track home enduro races. And I've always been good at them, but the name of the game is patience. You don't want to tear your stuff up too early. You want to save as much as possible and be there at the end of it. But depending on how these cautions are thrown, it also could affect your tires. How long are your green flag runs going to be? If you're only getting a 40 lap pit stop or something like that, you can get a set of tires every time. But if you got to stretch it 60, 70 laps, you can see a lot change in some pit stops here.
Yeah, and there you go. And that is a very real point that has to be looked at here tonight. Strategy, tires, pit stops, fuel, all of that could really come into play.
Oh, yeah, and here, this ain't no short pit road, bud. You got a long drive all the way from turn 2, all the way around past the finish line into that open dog leg you see.
Well, here we go. We're about to get back at it here. We just saw the restart moments ago. It got crazy in the dog leg. You think it'll get nuts down there again?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to see it just like we do every time here. You're going to see it 2-3 wide for 2-3 laps right at the start. Everybody's going to be trying to nick and gain everything they can right here at these starts.
Yes, sir. Well, man, I tell you what, I think we're going to get a little bit of a run in personally. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Let's go.
As you see, 3 wide already. The 74 looking down below that red Chevrolet there. 89 holding his own too. That outside groove's where you're going to want to be. You're not going to chew your tires up too much. You're not going to be turning your wheel too much. So the outside line, you can keep your momentum and potentially pass them guys if they bottleneck on the bottom. Everybody likes to run the bottom too. This racetrack has multiple lines. You can run the outside, you can run the middle, you can run the bottom, but it's all about your tires. If you burn them up too early, you're going to get passed.
You see Kyle out front leading right now, having a good run. Great job leading the way is Kyle at the moment. 15 laps in. That did not take long to get 15 in here tonight.
See our first couple lap battles there before them cautions. Our 2 leaders were battling hard. As you can see, this 51 car got a good jump on him this time. He's got a good 4 or 5 car gap lead on him.
Yeah, he does. You see Matthew Tremblay back there as well as Anthony. Again, everybody working the middle groove.
Love that camera shot. That camera shot's perfect. It gets all 3 lines in there. You can see everybody is in their own groove. You can run multiple lines here. It makes for great racing.
Yeah, this place makes up for wonderful, wonderful racing. And you talked about those grooves in the racetrack here. How much does that upset the race car going over?
It all depends, man. It depends on how much RPMs you're really carrying and how much momentum you're carrying off that corner. When you come off turn 4, if you don't get a good jump and you're, kind of slow off the corner, you're going to hit that line and bounce pretty good. But if you got a lot of speed, you'll kind of hover over it more or less than jump it.
Yeah, and that's what you kind of, want to do is just kind of glide across it, if you will.
Yeah, as you see the 21 car there, as he hits that apron line, that yellow line, that car is bouncing everywhere. It's a rough transition coming in between that banking and that flat apron. But also, too, Phoenix has a neat feature. We ain't really talked about it either. Turn 3 and 4 has the apron too. You can tuck them left sides down on that line there, and you could suck that car down and get down lower in that corner and pull more speed than necessarily being on the outside too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're looking for that speed, right? You're looking to try to minimize in the corners too. I think is the turn of the tire, right?
Oh yeah. It's all rotation.
Yeah, it's just getting that rear end to come around and make the work on the front ends a little bit less.
As you see, the 10 car is kind of getting a little breakaway. He's actually gaining back on our leaders here, as if I'm not mistaken. He's gaining a little bit more back on him, and he's giving himself a little separation there to our third place car.
Yeah, he is. Just a little bit, and that is about 0.2 tenths of a second separation. So
and as you seen in that camera flip, that 81 car is running just a little bit lower than that 94 too. It could suck that air right off that 94 and pull him right back to him essentially too if he does it just right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And what about the aero push that car will pick up too if you drive right behind another car?
Oh, these cars, you could suck that front end right up to his bumper, and it wouldn't affect you really. Now, if you go kind of gliding across his bumper without touching him, leave a little bit of distance there. If you glide slightly up to that right-hand quarter and hit it just right, if he's not in the right groove, it could essentially turn him around just by the air.
Yeah, and you can suck up behind him like you talked about, but you also want to try to keep that left side fender tucked up just a little bit, don't you?
You want to keep a little bit of air down on that left front. You want to try and push that left front as much downforce as you can on it. Because when you open up the right side of the car, it puts the air over the hood necessarily and crosses the hood towards the window pillar. And it'll essentially push the right front down. But if you're not getting enough downforce to your left front, it's going to make that car shove.
Yeah, it is. And it's going to shove up the racetrack hard if you're not careful. And if it does take away, you look at the 07 Pat O'Brien. Up way high. He's using that third groove, but if it does get away from you, getting that car to turn back down sometimes can be a chore.
Oh, yeah. You get too far up in the marbles, it'll suck you right to that wall. And once you get stuck to it, it's hard to get off of it.
Just one of them deals, right? You get up there, you get stuck to it like glue, and you can't get off of it.
Yep. I love how that 52 car got to dive in there on that. What is it, the 85 car?
Yeah.
He's being smooth. He's been following as you see him dive all the way down 5-6 lanes lower than he was.
Yeah, and that's a key, right? You talk about that. Drive down there and get out of there. Try to get, but when you're 5-6 lanes lower, it's awful difficult to get back up and get in a good line, is it not?
It's hard to back it down when you get into turn 3, or what would it be? It'd be turn 1 essentially here now since the dog leg is open. Turn 1, when you go all the way down there and you peak up, if you're not getting close enough, as you see that, I think that's the 21? Yeah, getting loose there. He got up off that line, and it only took that little bit of bobble, and it don't take much. It'll put you in the wall. But if you don't get that right angle going into 3, you lose a lot of momentum to get your exit off that next corner.
So it's all about momentum, right? Coming
Momentum
off the corner.
Is key. Momentum is key at Phoenix. It's always been momentum. That's the reason they opened the dog leg. And
we got a problem. Caution is out. If I can figure
got
out.
a good little stretch here.
Yeah, we did.
The 72 car has a little bit of rear damage there.
So Pierce appears to have had a problem. Let's take a look here and see if we can figure out what actually happened.
Car is loose. Bobbled a lock there coming off turn 2.
Waiting in a little bit of help.
Gave him a little bit of a tap there. He did an awesome job keeping that car down and not being able to, collect more cars into that. That was very smooth. A very good save.
Yes, it was. Well, what do you say? We got a caution here. What do you say we go say hi to our partners and give a shout out to everyone that helps us do this each and every week?
Hey, let's do it, man.
There we go, man. We will be right back with you here in a moment. All right, and transition.
Dude, last like week, dude, they've been off by like 2, 3.
All right, folks. I think, yeah, I'll put you on a black screen for a moment there to work on another situation. And I think for the most part, we got said situation under control with iRacing being, no, I'm not going to say broken, but we've got a couple of bugs after the update.
Mishaps.
Yeah.
I like to call them mishaps. They can always be
Happy
fixed.
little accidents,
Yeah.
as
Just like
Bob Ross would say.
Yeah, paint a happy little tree here.
Yeah, and there you go. I mean, so yes, I understand it's frustrating for me. It's frustrating for drivers. It's frustrating for the community. But that's
As you seen, our leader pitted here.
Yeah,
the
he
10
did.
car is our new leader.
He snuck down, but nobody else
Yeah.
did.
Nope. Our leader pitted, being the only car from the front. I wonder how that's going to play out. Strategy in the long run.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Oh,
as we seen
trouble in the back.
The 62 car and this, I believe it's the 7. Yep, the 07 car. Man, he had a little bit of damage with that car before this wreck, and he's tied up in this one too. It looks like he's having a pretty rough night tonight.
Yeah, and that car is pretty well broken too, unfortunately. As you see up front right now, we'll get back to the front. Matthew continues to lead here tonight. He's got the 94 of Alex right there with him. So what are you thinking as you work through here, coming to lap 33 this time by?
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these cars can push like 65 to 75-ish, maybe 80 laps on fuel. Don't dock me on that one 100%. But these guys can stretch it out. It's going to be about saving tires. And like you said, only having 3 or 4 sets of tires. The 51 car coming down and taking tires early, only being 30 laps in, you still got 170 laps to split in between, what, 2-3 sets of tires?
Yeah.
That's a long stretch for each set of tires from here on out. So I look for that 51 to essentially kind of be stuck towards maybe the top 10, 15 spot, maybe, unless he can prevail.
There you go. And again, you see cars on pit road with damage, a lot of them down there. And again, that's what we talked about. You can lose this thing early, but you can't win it. You end up down there with damage, and then next thing you know, your race is over.
Yeah, as you can see, I believe it's like the 10th or 11th place car there. The 21 car, he's hanging in right there inside. I'd say probably close to the top 10, and he don't even have a rear bumper. Like I said before, aerodynamics isn't really much key here. It's more or less your suspension and trying to keep the mechanical part of the car going.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Just keep the mechanical things under the race car in good shape. What are these cars using? I think they use coilover shocks, I believe, right, on these?
Compressed, yeah, air compressed coilovers usually I believe is what they use, but they're not like today's next gen. The next gen cars, these Xfinity cars are set up pretty much like the older style NASCARs. They still have the, Ford 9-inch rear ends in them. They still got, front suspension with shocks and springs. Whereas nowadays, you got independent suspension on these next gen cars, and each wheel moves independently off axles instead of one solid axle.
Yes, it's a total different way of setting a race car up, right? And
oh, yeah.
Even with the fixed setup that we have on the car tonight, you can do smaller things to help that in the cockpit, move your brake bias around. But to your point, unlike the next gen car, we don't have the master cylinders that you could cut down. You don't have some of those advantages.
Yeah, these cars, you kind of got more of a restricted kind of base plan of what you can mess with, mainly being your steering ratio, your steering box. You could run, down to a 10-to-1 ratio, all the way up to an 18-to-1 or maybe a 16-to-1 in these. I'm not sure. But other than that, it's all the angle you can turn on your steering wheel. You can pop that steering wheel off and turn it however many degrees you want. Other than that, it's only your brake bias.
There you go. And you see Matthew seem to nail it here as he continues to lead. And just like that, buddy, we're about 5 laps away from stage 1 being in the books.
Yeah, stage points are everything. Like I said, I don't know how their system works, but I'm pretty sure your top 10 cars are going to receive your points here. So you want to be inside that top 10 to try and get them points for that later on championship and maybe a run at the playoffs.
You're precisely right, man. Those top 10, all important. Jeremiah there, Zane Bailey, Kevin Gittenberger right there outside the top 10 running 11th. So he's trying to pick up one. What about Matthew continuing to pull away 0.2 of a second? But last time by, don't look now. Alex able to match the lap time and look behind them.
He's charging. That 51 car is charging to the front. He's got them new tires, but like I said, only a limited set of tires here with our stage brakes.
And
if you get the stage, another
yellow. But you know what's going to be interesting about this particular caution? This one should bring us into our stage break.
Which will give that 51 his points. I think he's, third now? I think he was third when that caution came out.
I think he was fourth at the time of caution.
Yeah, so he's going to get them stage points. But the only downfall I see to him with the tire being limited, you got to think of this part of it. These guys are going to come down and get fresh tires and fresh fuel right now. He ran about a good 10, 12 laps on these tires already now, and they've been hot. 10, 12 laps is a lot on a car here at Phoenix.
Yes, sir, it is. Well, now we'll officially get to go take our stage break here. This caution will be a little bit longer than normal due to where it's at. We might actually get back going, though.
laid back. He's been laying back, just chilling out. I think he's saving a little bit of tire and stuff. I think he's playing the long run game and being third. I think he's setting himself up here for the long run. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Maybe 25, 30 laps to go.
As we ride around here again under caution here at Phoenix Raceway tonight. Off next week for the Xfinity cars, but boy oh boy, the trucks and Cup series, they head to Bristol Motor Speedway next week.
Short track racing, we gotta love it. Everybody loves them short tracks. Going from 1.5 miles down to a half mile, these guys don't even know what they're gonna be messing with next week. 38 cars. If they get about the same amount of cars, that's going to be a crazy one.
Yeah, and I expect nothing but that out of the boys and girls of AMA. Man, that is going to be wild.
Yeah, Bristol's always a show. It always puts the tempers out. And being this early in the season, Bristol kind of starts your rivalries throughout the season. Bristol is usually the known track, if not Phoenix here, to start your rivalries off for your season. You might see, for example, this 94 car and this 10 car could go all out, and at the end of this race, they might be all right. They get to Bristol next week. If they're bumper to bumper and say the 94 takes them out, you got a whole 20-something races, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of the race season that you're going to have to look out for.
Yeah, Thunder Valley brings the tempers each and every time we go. All right, pit road is now being closed for pit stops. We're one to go in the stage, and I don't think they're going to restart this race. Race control is just going to run out the yellow here. So at the end of lap 45, that will make Matthew Tremblay your stage 1 winner.
Yeah, as he gets his 10 points to carry on throughout the season, the 94 will get his 9. And the 51 coming all the way back from being the only car at the front to pit and still manages to get his points here in this stage.
Yeah, and I don't think, as a driver, you're a driver, you get it. It's frustrating to finish a stage under yellow. But as always here at AMA, I think race control made a wonderful decision there not to run them back to 45, because that would have just been a mess.
It'd have been a drag race. You got a one-lap shootout. You'd had guys driving 3-4 cars deep in there just trying to get it. Points, like everybody says, points are everything. And these stage points, you give them one lap, it's an all-out brawl.
And sometimes the admins have to protect the drivers from themselves.
Yeah, prevent, future chaos. You don't want to, have a fight too early here and have to get, the police involved or nothing like that. You know how it can be. Some boys end up in the haulers.
Yeah, good call. Exactly. And like I said, we're going to run 45 out here. So now, does your thought go to the end of, okay, we're finishing 45 under yellow, stage 1's going to wrap, you'll come back around, go to pit road. For sure, everybody takes 4 tires here?
Oh, yeah. I don't think after running, 40 laps here, you're not going to come in and just take rights. Yeah, 45. You're not going to come in here and just take right sides. You're going to take all 4. You're going to fill it full of fuel so you can try and stretch as long as you can. And being 45 laps, when's our next stage break?
I believe it would be 90, sir.
Okay, so we're double here. So they can make it all the way out to the next stage break. They make it to the next stage break. They could take their tires again. But like you said, having 3 sets of tires, that 51 car already came down pit road and took tires. So if they come down at the next stage and take tires, he can take tires too. But he won't have an extra set if a caution comes out in that last longest stage.
Correct.
And that's where it could potentially hurt him.
Right there, it's official. We did lock in the stage points there at 46, so it's locked now. Now we'll open pit road. This is going to get good here in a moment.
You're going to want to be slow and patient right here. You don't want no mistakes on pit road. You want to be smooth in the box and smooth out. You don't want no mistakes, no speeding.
There you go to their boxes here. In 5, 4, 3, we're almost there. You have to come all around this long pit road. And where you're pitting there, does that make a difference between like the kink there and maybe a more straight section?
Yeah, how iRacing does this, wherever you qualify, if you qualify pole, you're the first pit stall. If you're dead last, you're the dead last pit stall. So if you're 15th and you're in the middle of the field, you're going to be the 15th box back. And that's why I was specifically saying qualifying would be everything. You're going to want to try and be at that last furthest box because essentially being a longer pit road, these guys have a long time to mess up. They can mess up speeding on entry and then speed on pit road. You just got to maintain your composure all the way to your box. Once you get in your box, you can leave and you can hit that cone and not be up to speed yet. So you want to have that pit stall selection.
Yes, you do, man, as they leave pit road here. And thank you, everyone, for coming out here tonight. It's been a heck of an evening as we're under yellow here at lap 47 tonight in the AMA Rogue Energy Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all in AMA and you yourself for bringing me into this small little knit family here, and I appreciate it, man. It's pretty fun up here.
There you go, man. No problem. You'll hear Mr. Dakota here with us every Thursday going out throughout the rest of the season as he is hired on full-time for this season with us. So you'll have me and the pterodactyl Matt in the booth on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and me and you, Dakota, or Wednesdays and Fridays, and then me and you on Thursdays, Dakota.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Not knowing you very much and only seeing you from when I ran in, other leagues and stuff. You've done a great job doing what you do, man. And linking up is through the racing community. It's pretty crazy what, racing in general can bring people to, conversate state to state about.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Well, Matthew's still waiting. We'll work on driver interviews for you in a moment. I'm just going to use a stage break to make sure all my systems are working correctly, if you will. I feel like a NASA control center sometimes.
I need to go and get an anteater and get it in here and eat all these bugs out.
There you go. Precisely. Maybe called the Orkin Man.
Yeah, sometimes they could be a little pricey, though.
There you go. Well, lights are going to be off now at the start-finish line. That means one to go.
As you see, this 51 car stayed out here on pit road. If he, I don't know if he stayed out. He did. I don't believe he took tires. There's no way he took tires. He came down and took fuel only. I think he's saving that set from this stage break, and he's going to run this whole entire stage off the same set of tires, just like these guys are about to do. I look for him probably in about 10, 15 laps, maybe fall back 3 or 4 spots, and he's going to have to charge harder here in this last one for that early pit.
Here we go. We are ready to go. Coming to green.
As you see, looking down that straightaway, you got the cones in the fence. That is your back down cones entering turn 3. Well, as you angle turn 3, if you look down at the bottom, there's that Geico restart zone where our leader's got to take off at. And essentially, the leader starts the race, but you're starting to gain momentum in a turn. And sometimes if you're on older tires, say later in a caution or something, you stop at gas, you may loop it right there in front of that whole field.
There you go. They got to it there, but to your point, later in the run, if your tires are worn, that can become a problem really quick. And look at already 2 by 2. Oh, that's
stacking up back here, 3 wide looking. The 57 kind of holds that 85 out. The 85 gives up.
And trouble one around. Caution yet again.
Everybody's getting jumpy after that caution. You know how iRacing works. Cautions breed cautions. Everybody's getting tight and knit close. They all got used to spreading out there until the end. And now they're all bunched back up. They're all just back in that same chaos.
Yes, sir. All right. You know what that means. Under yellow here, we'll go to a quick commercial. And we'll be back here for a green flag restart in a moment. We are back. All right, man. Well, you brought him back, dude. This is going to be interesting here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little battle here. I don't think these guys are really going to push a whole lot here. Being the second stage, you're in the center part of this race. The second stage essentially is through the center of the race, but the third stage is usually longer. And the third stage being longer, this short stint right here, you're going to want to be patient. You're going to want your points, but you're going to want to be patient and not do something crazy that could hurt that long run, because we're getting pit stops under caution here. They can go to the next stage break, come down, get four fresh Goodyears again, top it off with fuel, and then they can run that last stage, but they're going to have a green flag pit stop in there if it stays green. If they get all these bugs worked out now, we could have a race in the future, and pit stops are going to be the key in that last stage.
Yes, sir. But that's what I expect. Folks, I'm going to step out of the booth. I'm going to hand it over to you, Dakota, for a moment. I'll be right back here for the restart.
I got you, man. As most can see, lining up one by one here under pace laps, getting everybody settled back in after that early caution. We're going to stack them all back up here side by side and get them ready to go back under green here with about 30-something odd laps to go here. It's going to be a short stint. Hopefully it goes out straight green and you guys can see some good racing. They double up here. Yep, the pace lights are out. We are one to go. The 51 car sitting on the front row has been fast. He took tires a little early, so it's a little bit of a gamble with him right now, but he is extremely fast, and that 10 car is being patient, as well as the 81 and the 94 car here. These top four guys have been close and knit all race long, but that 51 car is a little strong. After that pit stop, he come through that field awful quick, so I don't know. It's going to be a pretty good start here. It's all going to be holding your P's and Q's, and you're not going to want to spin these rear tires on this start. As I said before, these leaders trying to hold knit. As you look back to that third, fourth row, they kind of bop out. They're trying to get that inside view on the guy ahead of him to see when that leader jumps. As soon as that leader jumps, they know they can take off and they can fire. When they fire, they're going to try and gain everything they can here. As you see, the 51 got a good jump on the 10. So did the 94. The 94 looking to the inside of the 10 car here. He's going to have to back it down just a little bit more than this 10 car. The 10 car is going to be able to roll this top. He's going to be able to roll right back up in it, but he's going to lift and tuck behind. He's going to look to the inside now. As we have a tight battle going into turn 3 here. Looking back into that 5th, 6th spot. They're too wide back there. That is the 13 and the 64 car. Duking it out. As you see, diving all the way to that inside pit wall. Trying to gain every little tenth they can. Multiple grooves, multiple lanes. A little bit of a bobble there too.
A little bit. Sorry about that. Dude had to hop out of the booth for a moment.
You're all knit here, man. Tight racing.
Look at them run that very bottom lane right down as far as they can go. And that is so, look how tight the 81 got there.
Yeah, the 81 shoves up. I'm actually surprised. Look at the 64 car. He is diving all the way down. As you see him come out of this next turn 3 and 4, he's going to dive all the way to that inside pit wall. And, I mean, you're talking a car length off that pit side wall. That's 7-8 links up to the track. As you see him dive there, and the outside groove goes with him, try and hold some of that momentum too. But he has to back it down right here.
Yeah.
Loses that momentum. That outside can carry so much through there because he has to lift and not get up into them.
Yeah, and that's the thing we saw in Cup 2 last night, man. Same thing as you took a bad angle down there, and then you had to jump out of the throttle so hard.
Like that 52 car back there, dove way too early. Got in on that pit side wall, and look how much momentum he fell back to that car ahead of him. He was once a half car length, now he's 3 lengths back. One little mistake here, and it's all about the line. And as these guys wear these tires off, hitting that apron line down there in that dog leg, it's going to get more treacherous as they lay laps down.
Yeah, you do, and it gets treacherous in a hurry, buddy. Yes. What do you think? The rubber buildup. Now we know we got the rain update right for the roadside, but we also got that tempest update. Do you think that affects the how the tires weigh the rubber down now, as far as the temperature and everything?
You got to think, we're out here in Phoenix, baby. We're out in the desert. We're out here where it's 112 degrees, 120 degrees. But at our nights, we can get down to 50, 60, sometimes 40 degrees down here in the desert. So during this daylight race, this track's going to be hot. This track temp's probably pretty good enough there. So it's going to be hard to lay rubber down on it. But essentially with this many cars and running the same grooves over and over, they will eventually lay it down. As you can see right there, it's starting to get darker on that inside the middle lane.
Yeah, it is. It is getting a lot more grayer tint to it now for the moment. Side by side for the race lead. Alex and Matthew going to go at it, and this time Matthew going to fall to second.
Inside, going to lay a fender on him. 94 lays a fender on that 51. As you see, the 51 starting to kind of struggle a little bit. I think the tires are starting to come into effect. That 10, 12 laps make a long stretch when it's 40 laps.
Yeah, it does. It makes it last a long time, man. And you're seeing it yet again, buddy.
This 13 car is battling. He has been on the inside of this guy the whole last 3 or 4 laps as you see him finally tuck in.
Took him a bit, but he did elect to tuck in there eventually.
Running that inside groove and that 39 holding him so low, it essentially burned a little bit of tire life on that 13 car. As you see him fall back, he's burned a little bit more tire than that guy did on the outside of him.
Yeah, and dude, you're dead on with it. That's exactly what you're going to see begin to happen.
52's looking to edge on the inside of him. Maybe that 13 got his tires a little too hot running that guy ahead of him. 52's going to peek to the outside but try and dive here. I'm looking for him to dive all the way down possibly. Nope. Prove me wrong.
He didn't go all the way down there. I kind of thought he would too, dude. But he elected not to do that.
Like I said, patience. He's probably seeing something I'm up here in the booth. I'm not down in that windscreen. And when you're down there, you see things a totally different view. As you see, our top second place cars, third and fourth, are up here battling. That 51 car is starting to drop back a little bit. Then tires are coming into effect. He got him a little hot. As you see the 81 looking to the right behind him. He was right below him.
Oh, decision times here, 2 by 2. Take a look. Look how tight they are. The 81 of Frederick.
He's pinching that 81 down. He's pinching him. That's going to burn the 81's tires up, holding him down that low because he has to turn so much with that wheel to not get into him.
Right, that was crazy.
I'm really surprised with this 64 car, though. He started, I think, like 7th or 8th somewhere back here, and he's now up to our 3rd place spot. He's been slowly picking them off, and he's got a good groove. He's running that center line. He's just essentially just riding to be there.
Doing everything he can to keep the car clean. Let's take a look here at his day. As you can see, hopefully you can see it as well. Started 5th, running 3rd.
Okay,
look,
so again,
you got Kyle slid back throughout the day. Frederick back up there to 5th from 6th. But a big move from Mark Morton there. He's up from 13th to 6th.
That 6 car's been looking strong too. I ain't really seen him too much here lately. As you see him there get into the outside wall. He's overdriving it a little bit, trying to get around him. He might want to try and think of long run here. He's going to want to make it to the end of this stage. As you see him possibly fall another spot there.
Taking a look, somebody not having the best day right now, Kendall Paul in the 78.
That 57 car has been right there, knit somewhat in that tight pack. He's been just a rider right there. As you see, our leader here, that Red Bull Chevrolet leading this pack. The 51 was a hard charger, but like I said, man, that early pit stop there on that 2nd or 3rd caution, man, I think that's what's costing him here. He's having to run this whole stage on like 55 lap old tires, where these guys are only running 40, 45 lap old tires.
Yeah, and that's it'll sneak up there and bite you with 20 to go until the end of stage 1 or 2 here tonight.
See him almost get the bumper there. The 81 had to check up a lot going into that corner to not get into him.
Man, that was a big checkup. What do you contribute that to, bud? Like, you would think it wouldn't go that way, but is that just kind of a breaking points thing?
Well, as you see in the 81 car there was once on the outside, and that white and blue 39 Chevrolet was once on the bottom. They kind of flipped lanes. When they flipped lanes, he was once running a lane up here he was once used to, and that guy was used to this one. As you see, that 51 car is battling lap traffic there on the bottom. We got one car on the outside wall as well.
Oh, look at that.
Everybody
whoa.
diving to miss everybody.
Whoa. I can't believe they got through it.
That's crazy.
That was like...
That could have been ugly. That could have been potentially ugly for a lot of cars there. As you see, they all fall back in single file line, though. We got a good group of guys and racers here. They're all very respectful. They all give their time and their space.
Yeah, they don't...
That 81 car is rolling a tight-knit line about a half groove higher than that 51 car. As you see him dive here, he's going to catch up to the rear bumper just barely here, and then he's going to fall back from lifting a little early.
Correct.
He's going to light up just a little bit higher, and he's going to get the momentum right here off 4 and suck right back up to his rear bumper. But that 39 is going to do the same thing to him, too.
Yeah, that's the challenge, right? You know, you do that to somebody, and they can come right back at you with it.
But as you see, as you suck up to that car ahead of you, when you go to lift, essentially, when they went right there in turn 3, that 51 lifted. When he lifted, you see the nose of that 81 car dive. He's not anticipating as much as where the 51's braking at. And the trouble's in the long run.
Right. So, you know, I think he's good right now, though. I think that's kind of his driving style. But maybe think about changing that as we go later in the race.
Yeah, if I was that 81 car, I'm taking notes right now. This is the stage you take notes and see what everybody else kind of around you's got. You know you're at the front. You don't want to lose your track position. You're right here inside the top 5, top 6.
Right.
You're just wanting to get these stage points at the end of the stage. But at the same point, he's learning that guy ahead of him. That guy done made his mistake pitting earlier, and he's suffering right now, and he's just riding and learning him. But essentially, when they come down at the end of the stage break, if he's still ahead of him, he's going to use everything he's learning right here against him.
Yeah, and that will be the problem, right? When it gets down to the go time, if you will, you run into that problem.
Yeah, he knows where he's lifting at. He knows where he feels secure. And he might be able to drive in there an extra 50 feet further. And that extra 50 feet for 2-3 laps can actually gain you a lot of time on this track.
Yeah, just a few more. And, you know, it's interesting how many feet, you know, as far as the feet difference, how big of a lap time that can make.
As you see, the 57 car's easing up on this 85's right rear quarter. Suck the air off of him coming off. The 85's going to dive, but the 57's got the momentum from sucking that air off that quarter. 85's going to dive lower. That 57's still sucking that air off of him. He pulls him right back to him, and he's going to go get the momentum here and get right up on him.
Getting that run, getting to the back bumper. Oh, I thought it was going to get him free there for a moment.
It's being close. You're talking inches right there, and it may look like a foot, but going 160, 180 mile an hour around here, that foot is essentially only about an inch or two, really, for you to make a mistake.
Yeah, right now working the top is Kevin moving that outside one.
That payday machine's rolling that wall as you see him get a little loose there.
That could have been a lot worse than it was.
Our 10 car here leading our pack. He's got a comfortable little lead here, but like I said before, I'm really digging this 94 car. He's being patient. He's riding. He's not letting him get essentially too far out of his reach. You got to think we still got a stage break. So he knows there's going to be a caution. But he's learning that car ahead of him too, and he's been there. He just ain't put the pressure to him yet.
79 on the board. We're coming 10 to go to the stage break here tonight. So 10 laps to go to a stage break, buddy. We're getting right down to it.
Yeah, 10 to go. These guys are going to start pushing these cars for everything they got right now. You get down these last 10, 15 laps, you start digging. They've done ran 30. Now they just got to run this last little stint. You see our leaders catching the end of our pack here.
There we go. And again, running down to the end of this stage, Frederick, right there. Owen Lax there in tight as well.
The 13 gets a little high there. He's going to jump down right in front of that 81 car. Just barely getting by him. He's going to peak here on the 39. Nope, 39 shuts him down. 39 slides up. He's going to push that 51 all the way on that outside groove. He's going to essentially take that line away from him. He's going to get that run down that straightaway possibly. The leader's getting held up, though. Lap cars are going to be a effect here in this last stage, too.
Yeah, would hate to go in the stage. That would definitely affect you as you run towards the end of the stage. Right now, he's being able to get through it decently well, so that's going to help put a couple of cars between him and Alex.
Yeah, but them 3 cars right there, them guys are now essentially battling for that lucky dog spot. They're going to push everything they got, and they're not going to try and give that 95 for any room as long as them 2 cars right there, the 88 and the 125, are battling for it.
And to your point, that let Matthew Trimble get away by about 2.5, 3/10 that lap, just out of the lap traffic.
The 88 being a gentleman there, letting him get by him.
And caution on the racetrack. See what we got.
Race caution. 54 car here. He was a lap down earlier. As you seen him, he got in that mix-up in that dog leg earlier, and we don't know how they cleared him. He's having a rough night here. Oh, a little bit of help there.
A little bit of how you doing.
Yeah. That might be something we got to talk about in the pits here later. He just essentially drove it in there a little bit too far on him, but essentially to me, I think the 54 just lifted a little too much trying to back himself up.
Yes, sir. So we will have another late race stage caution, and we'll be back for the restart here momentarily here on Extreme Sim TV. And commercial. All right, folks, we're back ready for the restart. Still fighting the overlay just a scotch here. That's what we were off air trying to figure out. But at least trading paints is somewhat working now. Great jump.
As you're 3-4 wide back there in the back.
Already starting to spread out here around the racetrack. That's what we expect here tonight. Battling it out, waiting the stage.
Ooh,
Oh, remember,
three cars kissing the wall.
We're what, 3 laps away from stage break here? So we're coming up on lap 90 just like that.
These guys are going to push it for everything they got. They want these stage points right here.
And caution's out.
This is going to be it. Stage is up right here.
For the second time tonight, caution going to bring us to the end of the stage.
I love that 52 car.
I'm not sure who went around, but caution will bring us to the end of the stage yet again. So once again, we're going to finish the stage under yellow tonight, buddy.
Yeah, the guys that played it smart. A couple guys kind of, I think they were back in 8th, 9th, 10th position, somewhere in that realm of the field. Them guys came down and pitted on that last caution. Mind you, we went green with 3 to go.
Yes.
Them guys didn't even get a lap in. We had another caution. So they just pitted. These guys that are essentially just pitted in 8th, 9th spot, they didn't even get a lap on their tires. Now these guys are going to come down and fuel up, get 4 tires. So the guys that just pitted would be smart to come down and get a splash of fuel just to top it off for that lap or 2 you just used. And you'll be out before these leaders, and you just gained all the spots you needed on pit road just by pitting on that last caution and playing that out.
Yeah, and with 89 on the board, we'll go green with 110?
Probably 105.
Yeah, 105. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long run, but a short run all at the same time. Man, I'm looking forward to it.
These guys up front have been put.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is as well, buddy. I think giving it time with one another, all that jazz that we've been doing, I think that's over. All right. Well, man, this is going to be so much fun. Let me see here as we get ready to get them back at it, folks. And right around here we go. And that might help your problem, sir. See if that helped. Woohoo! All right. So, Matthew out front. What's that, buddy? Well, I believe that would be now the 15 car, allegedly, with this custom number.
Either they're a lap down or they pitted that last caution. And they're going to play a number game. If it stays green here, you're going to have a green flag pit stop.
Yeah, you will. You most definitely will if it does manage to stay green.
So all them guys that just pitted on, like I said, this last caution, that's all track position right here. That whole field came down. You may have been running 8th, 9th, fell back to 30th, but now you're going to be setting 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you only got a lap old tires older than these guys.
Kind of a perfect setup, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. You'd set yourself up perfectly, but as close as these guys have been racing, and from what I've just seen tonight, just out of this group of guys, man, very much respect in between everybody. And given the racing room, we all like to be aggressive. We all want to win. And, you ain't got friends when it comes down to that checkered flag. But they respected each other enough and gave these leaders enough room that now it's going to get racy. we're getting ready to see what these guys really want to do with these tires. And them guys that just pitted, that were running 8th and 9th, they ain't been in fresh air all day. They ain't been up here with our leaders. So throw these guys that ain't been up front with no air. That car's going to handle a little bit different than it did in that pack. And this could shuffle up the field here.
And you see them, yeah, and the shuffle could be real. It could be like shuffling a deck of cards with the way this strategy could play out here.
Yeah, as any racer knows, if you start 12th, 15th spot in a race and you're starting there, them restarts, you're essentially slower on your restart than the leader is. The leader's darting out in front of the field, getting all the momentum. You're stuck behind somebody, kind of like a limited space, you know what I mean? You have to hold that momentum. So with that being said, you're not going to want to spin tires. You're not going to want to do nothing here. But these guys ain't used to this air. So this could cause a stack up, possibly. Hope not, but anything could happen.
Anything could happen here tonight as we get ready to go back at it through the Geico Restart Box here on Extreme Sim TV. 93 of the 200 scheduled tonight. We've got about 106 left to go here out in the desert in Phoenix.
As you see our leader here get to our restart zone, he's going to wait until the last second. The 26 jumps a little bit. Kind of an early start there. That's going to be a little bit judgmental. I don't know if they'll do anything in here, but he kind of got a good jump on him there before our leader.
Well, I do know we'll look at
wide,
it.
52 gets shoved to the wall. As you see him bounce right back off. He's going to carry that momentum down that straightaway. He's going to suck right back up to that guy.
Problems. We got a car around at caution. And that is not exactly sure. Let me go to events here. It's not
here coming on lap 95. We've had 5 laps since our stage caution at 90. So essentially here we have not had any real green flag runs, maybe 1 lap here since we've had our stage. And these guys have shown us, if you look back at this whole race, every stage, even the start of the race, there was a caution right after the stage.
Yes, sir. Well.
And sometimes there's a second one. But after that, it clears up for the end. And if it clears up to the end, you're going to look at maybe 80, 90 laps straight here. And that pit stop, 40, 50, 60 laps, you can stretch them tires. If you stretch them tires out just right, and you can make this car run longer on this set of tires and run 40, 50 laps on this set, and set yourself up for that 20, 30 lap run at the end on that last set, you're going to eat up more guys than if they pit half and half.
Exactly, man. What do you say we talk to Kendall Paul here? He's riding around down here. Let's see what he has to say. Hey, Kendall, it's Matt and Dakota in the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Matt. What's going on?
Well, man, you're running a little bit mid-pack here, but I don't think you've had as bad as not what maybe you thought you were going to have.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be a little bit worse. All credit to the teammates for bouncing ideas back and forth, how to figure out this racetrack. And, yeah, we've been inside the top 10 a couple of times, but now it's just kind of just surviving to the end, it seems like, because we're trying to have, it seems like a caution after caution after caution, because, yeah.
As we've seen, you guys have had a caution usually right after your stage break. After your stage break, you usually had 1, 2 cautions, and then you get that long green flag run. I want to ask you, are you prepared if we have a green flag run? Do you have a pit strategy?
We have a strategy in place. I mean, it's one of those things that the whole interstellar camp is really very good on the long run and very good with the green flag runs. And we have a strategy in place. Let's try it, see what happens. I mean, we can't beat the leaders on speed right now, so we'll beat them on strategy.
Yeah, I've been talking to Matt here. Tires I feel like are going to be a long thing here. You guys pitted at the end of every 45 laps here with this longer stage break. What were your tires wearing like?
That second stage was a little bit worse than the first stage, just because I was running a little bit harder trying to get some stage points. I think we're probably one of the better ones out throughout the field, but not too terribly with all these cautions right now. But just hoping for a green flag run just to kind of hopefully spread this field out a little bit and get where Interstellar really shines out.
Well, we appreciate you coming up here and sharing your voice on how this race is going. Good luck and the best to you, man. I hope to see
Oh
you
yeah,
at
thank
the
you.
end of it.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be there at the end.
All right, there we go, man. Kendall, good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dakota.
All right, see you soon, man.
See ya.
All right, we're going to move back down to Interstellar, which remind me, and I'll get you powers to do that here before next week, too. I'll put that on the remind me list.
Gotcha. Yeah, as you see, we're double file here. We're going to go back green flag racing. This pace car is going to dive in here. The only thing that really sets you up is the leader here on these restarts. The pace car is going to dip right here. You got to go down this whole straightaway, holding 55 mile an hour, and you can't go anything above. If so, you get caught speeding, you can get a penalty. Even as the leader, you're leading this race. You cannot jump or move until you're in that restart zone.
Yeah, and that is precisely it, man. You can't really do much till you get down here. Right around this corner, you'll see the Geico restart box come into view, and here we go, man.
85 is going to lead us here to the green flag. They have a little bit of a stack up there. No, we got one car around with a bottleneck right there at the start. Our leader did not give him a good start. He kind of checked up to try and get the outside guy to kind of take off before him, and it bottlenecked them all up.
We'll take a look here at Kevin Gittenberger in the 57. Just got checked up to no man's land here.
Yep. 94 should be extremely lucky. He better go buy a lottery ticket tonight, boy. He was very close to losing that car, too.
Man, that was luck. All right.
As you see, the rear end's ripped off that car. That rear end contact, that just being mainly in the rear, he had a little bit of front damage, I imagine, from hitting that car ahead of him. But just the rear damage here ain't going to do a lot to you as long as your spoiler's there and being just that rear bumper. I could see him. He could get that thing fixed up and be right back out here. He's got plenty of time.
It's precisely, man. You just got to have a little bit of time to get it together. You see the pace car getting everybody wrangled in here. And you said it before we went back racing. Stages yellows usually brings the yellow with it. And now we've had a couple back-to-back. I think that changes things for a lot of these drivers.
I think a lot of these guys are going, okay, you know, they're getting temperamental. They've been in this car for 100 laps now. We are officially halfway. So coming at this point, you know you're halfway. You've made it halfway. Now you got to make the other half. Making this other half is the hardest half. You got to potentially push your car as much as you can to be there without either essentially breaking it or pushing it too much and not having the equipment there at the end.
That's the thing you battle, right? The equipment just falls away by the end of the night, and you don't have what you had earlier.
Yeah, Jeffrey Stiles, man, leading this race. He's getting good jumps, and our second place car there, he's been getting a good jump with him. But as you've seen earlier, this 10 car has been up front all day. This Red Bull Chevrolet has been up front, 1, 2, third position all day long. And the 52 didn't come in until this late recent pit stop. You got to remember, he was kind of towards the middle. He pitted that early caution before the stage, and he got that lucky break. He's up here with these guys. But that 10 car, he's been fast all day, and I think he's just waiting. He's plotting a plan right now. He's just being patient.
You think he's plotting a plan to get him?
I don't think he's essentially going to get him. I think he's just going to set them up to, you know, pretty much set their own selves up. He's just coasting right now. He's going to save these tires. I predict this 85 and this second place car to battle here real hard. That 10 car is going to watch, and them guys are going to wear their tires down. And then essentially when you get near pit stops, them guys are going to pit a little bit earlier, and the 10 may stay out having a little bit better tires.
Right.
And like I said, if they pit 5-7 laps before him, essentially as they run, their times are going to fall off.
Right.
And if he comes in and pits, as their times are falling off, if he can mathematically set this up right and his crew chief gets him in just in time, he can mathematically gain his time back by taking them fresh tires on a shorter laps of time and eat them up at the end.
He did precisely, man. That's all it takes. Just get to them there at the end and go after them.
It's been a close-knit race. We've had a few cautions. These guys are, like you said, you heard him in the interview. You know, they're kind of getting tired of running these pace laps. They're wanting to get some green flag runs in, and hearing that anticipation, I think we're going to get it right here. I think these guys are going to lay back. You might see 3 wide going in turn 1. But I don't think they're going to be putting door to door. I think they're going to give a little bit of choking room so that way they can get through these first couple laps.
There you go, and just get up to speed right and get the car rolling.
Yeah, you can't do much under these cautions. You just get stuck in the place you're at, and then you're just dodging mayhem. So you're better to try and get these green flag runs in. And essentially, some of these guys in the middle of the back of the pack, they may be looking to be a long run car too. They may be waiting for this long green flag run to outrun these guys. So you can see somebody back here in mid pack potentially come up here and have a battle for this lead at the end of it too.
Back there bobbing and weaving and moving their way through.
Phoenix is very, very unique when it comes to it as a racetrack. Multiple lines, multiple grooves. You never know what you get when you come here. It's almost like they say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
There you go, and here we go. Green flag back in the air. Let's go.
As you see, 3 wide there. The 00 is falling short in the center, but he's going to lift out. Like I said, patience. As that car pushed hard, he got in the wall and almost caused himself to wreck there. Like I said, patience is going to be the key to this one. As you see our 85 of Jeffrey take off and get a little bit of a gap here on our 10 car.
Doing a little bit to get away as much as possible right now. Got it up to 0.4 of a second already out front.
But as you've seen, he pushed hard right there into the corner, and that second place 10 car, he got a little bit on that entry going in turn. He ate him up. You cannot overshoot these corners.
No, you cannot. And it kills your run on the exit as well if you overshoot.
As you see, too, look at that. He's all the way down on that pit wall, trying to get as much as he can on that 94 car. He just has to fall short from having to lift so much. Listen to him here.
That's Dunwoody you're on board with, lightening them rear tires up just a little bit. So,
being on this inside, you have to be very touchy with your throttle because these guys will squeeze you down there.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? You get down there, you get squeezed. You have to ease on the
His car is
throttle.
not liking the apron. His car is not liking the apron right now. That 29 car is bouncy when it's down there. He's not liking it. He needs to get that car up so he can try and gain on these.
Wow.
Because he shut the door. He shut the door on him.
I think on the dirt world, that we call that a slide job.
Yeah.
Right across the nose of that race car.
As you see, he peeks up. Man, he's getting lucky and chopping the nose off that 00. He's going to dive on the inside here, the 20 car. He's going to roll the bottom. 20 car is going to get the momentum here coming off the corner.
Easy does
Tucks
it.
back in.
Man, that's so sketchy.
Oh, he drove in on him. He made it stick. The 00 gets on the inside. As we see here, 3 wide. The 20 car has to check up.
Oh, and throw in the fact that there's a car blinking too on top of it. 2 single file.
This 39 machine, I have not seen really a whole lot this race, and he's slowly looking really contestable here. He slowly picked them guys off through the mayhem. I kind of feel like he's a cool level guy. He's not a hothead, so he might be something to be reckoned with too.
That's Anthony. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the race lead. Matthew Tremblay and Mr. Jeffrey Sykes going to war here side by side with lap traffic in front of them.
Yeah, as we seen earlier, this 26 car got tangled up in an incident. These two leaders are not going to give each other room right now. They're going to try and hold that top spot. They're going to try and take the lane off each other. This lap car, he's going to try and hold his lap too. He ain't going to make it easy.
Yeah, it is not easy.
As you see him stuck right up on him. Inches.
He didn't give him a inch of room there. Man alive.
Man, if I'm a 64 car, I'm loving this right now. I'd be laying back and letting these guys duke it out. Let them burn their stuff up and be there when they make the mistake.
Yeah, you're McDonald's. I'm loving it right now if you're in that scenario.
He's looking strong. He's been on this bottom line all night long. He's been coasting right on that line. He has not really bobbled all night long as you see him get right up on the door of that 85 car.
Oh, man, right to the door, man. Right trying just to go after it here.
He's hugging that line. He's very smooth. He's going to be a force to reckon with. He's been up here fast all day. And he's going to start slowly picking them off.
Is that the best way to do it? Just pick them off one by one like that?
Slowly, one by one. This track has a little bit of banking in the corner, but it's so wide and you carry so much speed here. You have to let the car roll. And in letting the car roll, if you essentially just go too far into the corner, you're going to lose a lot of time on your exit, and you want to carry your momentum off your exits here.
Yeah, so you just want to be oh so careful, right? Just inching your way through pretty much, correct?
Oh, yeah. As you see, this 10 car has got a good length on second place here. He's going to reel in this, I believe it's 26 car maybe?
Yes, I believe that is the 26 of George. It is.
And you got second through sixth right there all in a straight line, just grooving it out. Like I said, I feel like we were going to get a long green flag run here, and I think everybody's just trying to be patient. And we're going to see who saves tire by the end of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I felt like we were going to get a little bit longer run here, just the same as you did once we got it figured out, and that's precisely what's happening.
As you see, our leader is not going to like being here behind this lap car. This lap car is holding him down. He does not want to go a lap down. But you're going to see he's going to dive all the way to that inside wall, and he's going to meet him up about door to door here going into 3. Is he going to be respectful and give him the room?
I think he will. He backed out. He backed out.
Yep.
Battling back behind him as well. That's going to be coming towards us. Zane Bailey back here in the 21 under Kendall Paul. That's around 16th. So you see racing throughout the field.
You see him getting into the wall coming off the corner.
Yeah, Kendall got, I think that was Kendall getting a piece of that wall off of turn number, what was that, 2 they come off of. He got a piece of it.
We're pushing like third. Oh, as we got contact there in the dog leg. I don't know how he kept that one from going around.
Yeah, that you usually don't get away with that too many times.
No.
Not doing.
We're only about 13, 14 laps here off that last caution too. So these guys running about 15 laps now. We're running about 45, 50 lap fuel runs maybe.
Correct.
So these cars are going to start getting about their midway breaking point. They're going to start tightening up. And you're going to see some crazy, exciting moves here at the end to try and hold off your spots.
So you're telling me we're going to see some shenanigans?
Oh, you're going to see more than slide jobs.
It's going to be slide job city.
This 78 car looks wicked quick. He's on the outside. He's pulling that outside groove on him. As we interviewed him just a minute, he's diving actually on the inside of him now. I think the 20 car is just going to give it to him. That Ford Mustang is moving.
Yeah, that Ford dark. Oh, the Zane again out of shape. Wow.
As you see, there's a little bit of rear damage on that 21 car. Earlier, he didn't even have a rear bumper. Some guy's slowly getting that car fixed. He's slowly getting himself back here in contention.
Yeah, just go ahead and rip it on another back piece.
This 20 car was up front there for a while. I'm wondering if he didn't make a mistake on pit road or something like that. He's kind of falling back now. Just only 20 laps after the last caution?
Yeah, and
he's
you see
back a little bit
and
now.
Zane under him here as well. Zane doing a good job to get underneath.
As I said before,
go ahead.
He's going to try. He's pinching him. It's all about momentum, and you can manipulate that guy below you. You can hug him so far down he has to lift so much. He'll lose his momentum, and you can gain that on the outside very easily here as the tires wear out.
Well, buddy, don't look now, but we're inside of 80 to go.
80 to go. These guys are slowly going to get closer to these pit stops. This is going to be the most crucialist point. If it becomes the green flag pit stops, you're going to want to be pitch perfect. You're going to want to get on pit road on speed. You're not going to want to speed. And you have a long stretch of pit road here.
Yeah, it's going to be go time here pretty soon.
You're going to want no mistakes on pit road. You're going to want to be flawless.
Yeah, that's going to be exactly the thing, man. You're going to have to be on it.
As you see, we got a fourth battle here. These guys are holding each other close. That 15 car ahead of that 85, he's kind of running his groove, and the 15 kind of has to check up for him a little bit and just kind of get out of it with him.
It's interesting to see how everybody's doing that, man. They're really doing a good job at it.
I'm really interested to see about that 94 car. He is now past the 52 car. Slowly gaining more pace. He's actually gaining on that 64 car that was once up there battling for the lead at 1.2.
Are you surprised at all?
No, I told you, patience. Patience is key.
Patience, patience, patience.
You just got to hit your mark every lap. You don't want to skirt your tires. You don't want to get loose too much and lose momentum. You want to be perfect every lap. Every tenth matters at this mile and a half.
Every tenth, every inch, every move you make, right?
Yeah, you don't even really want to bobble. When you get in these green flag runs, a tenth is everything, especially right before your green flag pit stops. Because this could manipulate your pit stop. If you lose time here, you may see guys go with 2 tires. Try and gamble at the back of the field to gain on these leaders, maybe. I mean, after 40 laps or something like that, I don't think really they really push that, but you might see a couple guys try it and try to gain on some of these guys and throw a wrench in here.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing when you start throwing wrenches at it like that? Can it get you into trouble, or do you think it helps?
Me, Phoenix, I love a loose race car. A loose race car here, I've always been fast. But if I've ran 30, 40 laps on tires in these cars here, and if you just take right sides, it's going to be 20 times looser than what it is now.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute handful if you do that. That is for sure.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
gonna want to micromanage that gas pedal.
see the 94, you talked about him a while ago. He's trying to close now on Jeremy for second. Kirby and Styles going at it here for position. That's going to be 8th and 9th on the racetrack.
As you see that 00, as these cars get more on that lap, you seen him as he hit that apron coming off that corner. It had a hard bounce. That hard bounce can essentially offset that car, and it can make him lose his momentum even going into the corner, not necessarily even on the exit.
Yeah, which would not be good, by the way.
No, and everybody knows how aprons are. You can use them, and they can treat you well. But as that car wears off, you're flirting with the devil, buddy.
Yeah, it'll reach up there and bite you if you're not careful. That is a certainty with some of these cars.
We got a tight knit battle right here, door to door. This 85 and 00 are not giving each other room.
Yeah, I don't think anybody out there is.
As we're coming to 128 to go, we got about 72 laps to go here. Slowly winding down here in our last stage, as stage 1 and stage 2 had a few cautions right after the caution breaks for the stage. And I think we're getting our green flag running now, and pit stops are going to be key. That's going to be the biggest thing right now. And I'm watching some of these guys maybe running 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th spot, taking it easy right now. They may stay out a little bit later than that leader who's pushing his car a little bit more. And I'm wondering if the guys that stay out later than the guys that pit sooner, who's going to have the better advantage in the long run? Are they going to gain it from pitting early and getting a better jump? Or are they going to lose it more in the long run and the guys that pitted later get more of a jump?
I think the guys that pit later is going to have the better opportunity here, in my personal opinion.
I do too. Fuel, take as less amount of fuel as possible. If you can run that car down to about 40 laps down to fuel, fill that thing up, pack it with 4 tires, send him out that last time, and let him eat.
Let her eat, let her rip, man. And right now, great racing. What do you say we do a bit of crank it up here for these fans at home?
Oh, let's crank this thing on up. I'm ready to smell the fumes.
All
As you heard it there, rev it on up. You can hear him, and you're riding with our leader. You can see the particular line he's been running these last few laps. He's trying to critique himself to hit that every single lap. As you can see, he angles in lightly on that throttle. Gonna get a momentum push down through this straightaway. You're gonna want to lift a little bit and back up your corner and get the entry you need.
Yeah, man, that's the trick to it. Backing your corner up, getting that entry, getting the car to rotate, getting the power down, and getting on out of there.
Yeah, this 94 car, he's been slowly riding here in the same spot with the 64 car, and it's allowed this leader to slowly pick himself away from this field. He's got a good gap here on him.
Oh, look at this. Tight battle for Mark, and looks like that's Kyle in the 51 going at it dual-sided 2x2 down the back straightaway here.
Yeah, the 15 is going to get a little bit of momentum, but the 6 is going to peek right back in. He's going to suck him right in right here. He's going to dive, and he's going to be right on his bumper by the time they get in the corner.
And I mean right there on his bumper. Man, great job.
Hey, I don't know if we can do this or not, but is our leader in our Discord possibly?
Yeah, we can talk. Oh, and the yellow's out. Perfect opportunity. The 15
Oh,
round.
it's the 85. Oh, it's the 15.
Or 85, excuse me. That number's odd. Does that number look odd on the car to you?
Jeffrey, our leader at one point here, around in turn 3 and 4. Oh, and he got help from the 29 cars. The 29 car slides up into him. Oh, and a terrible hit there for the 125 getting into him.
Yeah, man, he got dumped down into the corner.
One of our front runners here.
Take a look.
Out a little early as he got in. He on the brake. As you seen him hit the brake, the car bobbled, and he just drove it in too deep, and he got essentially in that flat area, and it just slides. The 125 just nowhere to go, man.
There we go, and the caution flag waves again, and that car killed on pit road. Everybody down pit road here at lap 48. I'm assuming if it went green, you could make it to the end here on fuel.
Imagine you can. These guys are going to try and stretch it from here on out. I'm almost wondering if some of these guys didn't save an extra set of tires. They can take tires here and then essentially have, right sides here for maybe, say you get a caution 20, 30 laps. You got 30, 40 to go. Come down and take right sides. These guys may gamble with it. As you see, the 15 has a good pit stop there, getting the jump on the 64 there too. He had a good pit stop there, getting a few. 64 had a little bit of trouble there, I think.
Just stumbled a little bit.
That 52 car set himself up coming out of that last stage. That last stage caution, he pitted with 3 to go, gambled. He didn't get the stage points essentially, but it put him in that track position to be right there, right behind our leader in that 10 car. He's been slowly just steady riding since the second stage. And I think his pit strategy is playing it pretty right for him, I believe.
Playing it right and making it happen.
He was back in the mid-pack. I'm not sure where he quite started at. I'm pretty sure it was probably around the 9th, 10th area, if I'm not mistaken. But he's looking pretty good and strong today. 52 is my own personal number, so hopefully some good luck to you, buddy.
There you go. Personal favorite number, huh?
Yeah.
Mine is 10 numbers off of yours. Mine's 62. Hey, at least we both at least we're close.
Yeah, actually my best friend's dad ran 62 back in the early 80s.
Nice.
Shout out to Bruce McIntyre, rest in peace, my guy. But
you got any local short track racing you're gonna head to this weekend where we got Friday and Saturday off?
I'm not looking particularly anywhere racing this weekend. There is a dirt race we were talking about going to, but I think we're gonna hold off. And we got open practice at Anderson this next coming week and for the next 2 weeks, and I think we're going to go there for open practice next week, and then our season starts at Speedrome in Indianapolis, and we run weekly figure 8 and oval down there. We're going to run for points this year, so we're going to see what we can do.
There we go. Some Speedrome figure 8 racing.
Yeah.
You got bigger cojones than I do, my friend. There's no way I'm running a figure 8 race.
Big adrenaline rush. It's the thrill of the life, dude. I tell everybody, once I strap in that car, you get the biggest butterflies of your life. When you're running around here pacing like this, especially at the start of the race, dude, you have the most anticipation in your body, and it drives you wild. But as soon as you've seen that green light go or that flag drop, everything in the world essentially just disappears. And
Yes,
it's just
sir.
you in that car.
Matthew right there, ready to bring him down. Owen Wax behind him. The 94 of Alex there as well.
This potentially could be our last restart. So this being our last restart, you're going to want a good restart right here too. I'm wondering who gambled, who took 2 tires, because you got to remember we had a caution, 30 laps ago? Some of these guys could have possibly tried rights for now and 4 at the end.
From what I'm seeing on my data over here, man, it looks like maybe 1 car, and that's Jeremy. Possibly may have tried that.
52 is going to lose a spot or 2 right there on the outside, letting them 2 get around him. They're
And we
kinda
got
scattered
another
out.
yellow. Trying to figure out what car was involved.
That blue 21 has a lot of right front damage on it back there.
Oh, let's see if I can figure it out here. Ted, nope. It didn't pick up anything. That's weird. But nevertheless,
About 4 cars back from him. That 21 car, I don't remember him having that much damage last time we
let
seen
me
him.
see if we can get an eye on him.
Yeah, that right front looks a little pushed in there on that 21 machine.
So as the yellow waves here, there's Zane. Yeah, it's pretty well
Zane
damaged.
getting his lap back. Zane will get his lap back here, I think.
Well, he'll go to pit road, but
Lot of
look at
right
that car.
damage.
Look at the way it's setting.
Yeah, he knocked the toe plumb out of that right front. He pancaked that wall, I'm pretty sure. Probably coming right there off turn 2. He just essentially got in it too early. As you see, that right front's leaned in pretty good. He's got some suspension damage. It ain't going to put him out, but it's going to hurt him.
I want to throw this out here in chat. Raymond there says he's going this weekend to the car store race.
Okay.
Nice, man. I'm feeling it.
I personally, I'm a big figure 8 racer. They just had their figure 8 nationals down in Florida, the 3 different race tracks down in Florida the last 2 weeks. So we've been sitting out here rooting our Indiana guys, going down there and putting on a show for them, in the outlaw figure 8 world. So it was pretty cool the last 2 weeks. Now we got a week where we can get our stuff done and figure it out before our season kicks off.
So it was kind of, I'm going to tell a quick personal story about a racetrack, man. So our local racetrack the other day, they were all ready for opening season next month. We had a windstorm come through, and it tore down billboards. It trashed the place. Kind of cool picture on photo I seen today. Majority of the community came out this week, and we've already got that thing ready to get back at her.
Heck yeah. The racing community is a strong community. A lot of people, back in the day, we were a bunch of rednecks. We worked on our own thing. As you see nowadays, motorsports came a long way. Hendrick and all them guys up there in NASCAR, multi-million-dollar businesses, billion-dollar businesses, essentially. Them guys got all the equipment they need when they bring these cars here to these racetracks. And, man, these guys get a privilege of driving some neat equipment out here.
I will say this, too, before we go back green. Shout out to our significant others, all of us sim racers and racing community in general, because God knows they got to put up with us talking about this stuff constantly.
Oh yeah, we could be bare knuckle fighting one weekend, hating each other from wrecking each other or something and something tragic happened the next week. We're hugging each other and we're brothers. That's the racing type of community. It's always been that way. They're the ones that are truly racers. They know who they are and they put all their all into it and they usually succeed. So,
man,
yeah, shout out to all them guys.
I don't care if you're a super late model driver, Pier 4 driver, 4-banger driver, or hell, even if you're an RC racer. I'm down for it
You're
all.
a racer. Yeah. I have RC cars. I actually do a lot of our Night of Destructions too, like the trailer race, figure race.
There we go.
Down track. I've won a lot of those. I love those. These endurance races, that's what I mean earlier by this being a 200 lap. It's an endurance race. You don't want to put yourself out early. And my endurance, racing somewhat short type season, I guess you could say I have. it's all about being there at the end. So like them long races, you want to protect your car.
All right.
Unlike that 21, that right front damage could hurt you. And
Yeah.
being this late in the race, it's going to hurt him.
We are ready to go. Take a look down the front straightaway, ready to rock and roll once again. The field will come to green with what will be 50 laps to go in Phoenix. Here we go.
This could be the restart of the night. Oh, and the 10 car gets a good jump on the 94 and the 15 follows.
3 wide.
Scattering out. Oh, a little bobble back here in the field. Right behind that green car back there. They sorted it out.
There we go. Dicey. Wow.
They're going to start pushing. We're down to the 50 lap mark here. 50 to go this time by. 50 to go. You're going to start pushing. As you see, the 15 takes the lead from our 10 car finally. We had a new leader.
For a split second, let's see if he can get back underneath of him.
He's going to hold him. He's going to push the outside. He's holding the momentum. He's going to clear him coming here off to the corner.
He is scooting and buggying off of turn number 4.
That outside line's where you're going to want to be. This rubber is laid down on the bottom, but essentially you got to lift a lot to hold that line now with so much rubber. You start getting in that outside groove and just essentially a little less rubber, the car frees up a little bit. You can get a lot more out of it.
Yes, sir. Kendall Paul back there in the 78 hanging on as well. There's Paul in the 78, Adam O'Brien.
78 slowly came back. He was back to 18th, and he's, inside the top 10 now?
Yep, inside the top 10 and moving, bud.
He's doing good.
Paul trying to move that. Good caution.
Ooh, I think that was the 64 that nicked the wall there coming across the line. 29.
So, yeah, right here. And after this call,
he did not have the room. He came down on the 7 car, essentially pitting himself around.
There you go.
I have no clue what's going on with that car up there. It just looks like he got on the brakes too hard and tried to miss some people and just stopped himself, thankfully, from that wall.
So while we got another yellow, you want to hear about another cool piece of sim racing technology?
Throw it at me.
I got to looking. You've heard of iracing iFlag, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't have one. I want one.
They've got a new product. And it's not the box. It's a light bar that mounts under your monitors and does the same thing.
Ah.
That to me, that's even cooler.
Yeah, and the thing is, putting it like we said earlier, I'm epileptic, so seizures, flashing lights is not my thing. The thing behind your monitor essentially is a lot less brighter than that box being right in your eyes, flashing at you. You know what I mean? I can't have stuff like that.
Right.
Potentially having them, but that's smart. I'd essentially get that. I never bought the box because of that. And, it's just a health reason. Other than that, I support it. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool.
Man, I might be wrong, but I think you can go in there and change the settings to where it's a solid. So it just goes to yellow, green to yellow.
Okay.
Which
I'm glad they thought of that.
I think.
I didn't know that.
I'll have mine here in a few days. I'll let you know. But hopefully you can do that because that will solve the problem for people like me and you.
Yeah, and I think the light behind the screen, you're essentially. I'm a VR racer though, so like even if you had an iFlag, I have a VR. I ain't used it in the last couple of weeks really. I need to update it, but when I use it, I don't see that. You know what I mean? I don't see the flag. I wouldn't see the lights, but I've been running my screen. So for people that run monitors. That being behind the screen, I'd rather it be behind the screen really essentially than a box because at least that box could be in a certain spot of your view. If you're essentially in the race, you're not paying attention to that box.
Now, theoretically, if they've already made a light bar, right, wouldn't it stand to reason that maybe you could come up with a system that would be wireless kind of to where you just have a light you could put around your room like ambient lighting? That'd be kind of cool.
Out there that do like you buy them LED light strips that go like around your TV and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you do have to have a power source somewhere always. So you could buy more expensive ones that have like AA batteries and stuff instead of like plug-in. And that's essentially what you do with like gaming, stuff like that. You want to get stuff like that essentially and use it that way. But you want to look up and get good name brand stuff because you don't want to be replacing batteries all the time either. But it would be essentially neat. I do back that. I do like the flashing behind the screen. I back that. That's pretty neat.
So we're ready to go back to green here. Lights off the top of the iRacing pace car. Yet again.
We're going to come down to 44.
Big
I
old
want to hear your
4-4.
prediction. What's your predictions? Who you think's going to get it at the end of this?
I think Matthews led the majority of the race, and I think he's going to get out front, and he's going to get it.
I'm going to throw a Hail Mary. I don't know a lot of these guys being my first week here, and I know that 10 car's been holding it and stuff, and he's been patient. Like I said earlier, he was going to set him up later. I believe the 15 is going to overdrive it, but I believe either that 94 or that 64 is going to edge him out at the end. Because he's going to drive at 15 hard here at the start.
There
and
you
then
go.
two setting back and slowly set their pace. I feel like it could be an upset somewhat. I don't know. It's Phoenix. You never know. Ezzy got a good jump there. The one car was able to get down, or the 10 car got down there.
All right. The 13. 156 on the board this time by. As they work their way down the back straightaway here.
Ooh, 39 car slightly gets into that wall coming off turn 2.
And remind me to tell you something off air, sir.
Gotcha.
It's
gotcha.
hilarious. Owen right there as well, hanging on.
You're going to start seeing things thrown. You're getting down to 43 laps to go this time by. We've had 9 different lead changes this race alone. And JL here in the 64 car set our fastest lap at a 27.235 on lap 104.
Damn, he is rolling right now. Adam O'Brien right there, 2x2, 158 on the board.
As you see, a lot of these guys ain't diving down there no more. They're starting to feel the wearing of these tires as they go on. They're trying to preserve it all the way to the end. You're not going to start seeing a lot of divers unless they know they can make that move work.
Uh-oh. Raymond put a bet in chat. Uh-oh. What did he put? We got to go see. As they work through here. I can't see for the little heart emoji. Daggone it. YouTube. He put $10 on the 15 car. So we got a $10 bet going on here.
All right.
DraftKings Simracing.
As you see that 78 slowly picking him off. As you see, he's ahead of the 52 car now. That 78 slowly coming. I wonder if it's going to be a little too late, though, by the time he gets there. He had to come deep in the field, like you said, 18th. He's doing real good.
Coming faster than a hurricane right now.
That could also hurt you, though, too. We still got 40 laps to go. 40 laps is a little bit of a time here at Phoenix. A mile and a half. Mile and a half track. I mean, you're running almost 30-second laps. You're talking a good amount of time still here.
Yeah, and you're still talking 40. You're talking what? 18, 19 minutes is what it's estimating for us here to the end.
Yeah. As long as we stay under green here, we're shortly close to the end of this. But I mean, for these racers, it feels like a long time.
Yeah, right now with 161 200 complete, this field down the back straightaway getting at her.
Yeah, that 15 car has slowly got 3.5 lengths on the 10 car, but that 94 is staying about consistently a car length from our second place guy there, and he's staying about that same distance. As you see the 10 car slowly reeling that 15, and I'm beginning to wonder if the 15 ain't overdriving and burning them things off yet.
That could be the problem, man. You start overdriving the race car, it starts sliding around. Next thing you know, you're in trouble.
Yep, he's gonna. And this 10 car is being patient. But mind you, that guy behind the 10 car, too, is also being patient. He's held that same gap. So when that 10 car gets to that leader, they're going to be racing for it. They're going to both burn off their tires. That 94 is sitting in a perfect spot. And with only a little bit over 35 to go, if these guys battle it out for 10 laps, as soon as they clear away, he can pass both them guys. And he's got, a couple lap fresher tires, essentially, just from not burning them up racing each other.
Yeah, essentially, that's precisely what can and will happen. And that's the dangerous part, right?
Yeah, it's all a gamble. I almost feel like we're going to Vegas, and we're not too far from there.
Start the gambling times, man.
This 10 car is slowly inching back in him, but that 94 is also slowly inching on that 10 car. They're holding all about the same gap, but that 39 is also catching that car. He is flying.
Foreigner there, O'Brien.
78 car is like what, 8th now? Slowly picking up through the field.
You know, old Storm Tracker's moving forward.
Yeah, he's gaining on us here.
He's getting her like the Calgary right now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, molasses moves real slow in December, but the only thing is it still moves.
Yeah, precisely, man. And right now it's moving. Good old country boy reference. I like it.
Yeah. Tortoise and the hare, my guy. Tortoise will always beat the hare.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get you sooner or later.
Yep. You always have that one, you know, wazoo finish. You got to have one every once in a while. That's what makes it exciting. This 15 car he's holding that line, and I think he's starting to notice he's still got 34 laps here.
Yes.
He's going to try and save his tires, and he's going to give a little bit of room to that 10, but he don't want to give him the room to look on the inside or the outside of him.
Yeah, you don't want to push it too far.
You want to hold him, but you don't want to give him the line either.
Yeah, you don't, you know, it's a tightrope kind of that you're walking if you're in one of these cars.
10 cars backing up his corners a lot more than that 15, though. 15's kind of driving in a little further. You can see as soon as that 15 lifts, the 10's already out of it before the 15. He's just cruising right up to him.
And that's where you kind of pick it up, right to your point. Like, if he can keep doing that, he'll eventually, Kyle in the 51 will slip up, and he'll be able to roll that 10 right underneath of him.
Yeah, he'll be able to slide right up and out of the way. He's just essentially just riding him to let him know he's there and wait for that mistake. But I don't know. He nipped the wall there going into that corner. He barely kissed it. Not enough to get into it, but he kissed it.
It upset the car just a scotch, man.
That 13 car's been strong all day, too, running back here in the 5th spot. He's been just cruising right around that 5th, 6th, 7th spot all day long, being consistent. And like we said, points are everything. If he was there in the stages, he's going to have a good points day here just riding consistently.
Kyle, right there as well in the 15, doing everything possible. Trying
Coming
to hold them
down
off.
30 to go. 30 to go this time.
30 big ones to go here.
I say these guys are probably going to ride it out for about another 5-10 laps. You get close to that 20-22 lap mark, I feel like these guys are going to start pushing to the front.
Precisely, man. Precisely. Adam O'Brien, Frederick there. Nice and tight. Ooh, tied up the racetrack.
That 74 car holding him down, pinching him down. It's going to take the momentum off of him. Oh, as he gets into him. Puts him in the inside wall.
Outside
the front
too.
is completely knocked off of it.
That was a ping pong ball. Jeez almighty.
That thing looks like a wallered out deer, my guy. She is a wallered every way in every which direction.
Wallered out deer. There it is. That's great. Oh, I love it.
He's under a lot of suspension damage after that one. He not only hit the inside, he hit the outside too. So it pinched it completely into almost like you'd say a triangle in the front end, and it's gonna shove after that.
You know, I'm gonna kill both you and pterodactyls because I'm gonna have a bunch of T-shirts to make at the end of this month. I've already got tornado in a trailer park. Now I've got wallered out deer. What could possibly come next?
Who knows? You never know what comes out of my mouth.
Oh, 174 on the board.
These guys are putting it. He's slowly. You know that old Geico commercial. You almost had it. He's reeling him in real slow.
Just a scotch. He's there.
Peeking on the inside, gonna drive in. He's gonna give him the space. He's pressuring him though. He's gonna try and get him outside of his comfort zone and try to push him out of that groove. They're actually putting time on our third place guy here. He's actually gaining. Then these two guys are leaving the third place car.
Man, 175 on the board of 200.
That 10 car bouncing onto that apron. He's going to peek to the outside here. Rolling up on him. Oh, major checkup. He had to check up a lot there to not get in the back. And we have a caution again. Caution is out. 175.
175 of 200, and that is going to be Christopher Melton facing the wrong direction. Back of that Ford Mustang. Oh!
Well, he just kind of lost it there coming off forward. Like I said, he hit that apron. It may have upset him and put him right in that wall. It may have just had a bad bounce.
Might have
It looks
broke
like
that
he's going
race
to take
car.
that one to the garage. It looks like he's going to take that one back to the garage.
Yeah, I think that car is done.
Yeah, he hard impacted our pit wall there. Did you see our 125 car there still on pit road? He had a terrifying incident earlier, too. He smacked both sides of it, too.
Everybody will come.
You guys having a rough day.
Everybody will come to pit road. We'll go to commercial break. We'll pick up after pit stops, buddy, and see what everybody is doing. All right. We're in commercial.
I got to strike a match.
All righty, and we're back here once again. Welcome back to the AMA Rogue Energy Series here on Extreme Sim TV, winding up race number, I think, 4 here at Phoenix as we prepare for Thunder Valley next week.
Bristol's going to be exciting. Unfortunately, you guys ain't going to catch me here next week because our Xfinity series is off, like our like the real life Xfinity schedule. So we'll see you back here in 2 weeks after this one.
I don't know. Maybe we bring you over for Friday and do a triple man booth for Friday.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can get pterodactyl on board with that. And of course, Dakota, brand new here for all the season of AMA Rogue plus
I hate
more.
to say it. We have a shakeup here. Our leaders pitted, some negotiated and stayed out. We got 20 to go when we go green here, and look who's on our pole.
Old Paul,
The 78 car. 78 car divided. I don't know if he took 2 and short pitted the others. I don't know if he pitted. I didn't quite pay attention to him, or if he stayed out. But gamble here possibly. These top 3 cars all on a gamble because at 52, I feel like he took a gamble too. He was quite a couple cars back from these guys too.
And Psycho and Chad, I appreciate the feedback. I'll pass the message along. Thank you for being constructive and not just yelling like some people. I appreciate that. I appreciate constructive criticism. I don't. Problems already.
We have a wreck right off the start.
Monique around.
That 29 car, I guarantee I said he took a gamble. He did not pit. Them old tires spun him on the restart, and that 15 on them 4 fresh boys got right into his rear bumper and took him around. As you see, he spun him right on the start. 15 just ran right into the back of him.
It's one of those deals, man.
At least he kept it out of the wall. No major damage to him. He could just come on down pit road now that he's at the back, potentially, if he's got the tires and, take
Get
a little
back
bit of
up
repair
there.
he needs. And he's at the back now. You might as well take him while you got him. Try to charge back through this field. We'll go back green here probably with about 17, 16 to go. These guys are going to be charging. I look to be – there's probably going to be one more caution before the end of this one, and we're probably going to have a green-white checkered.
Yes, sir. Won't that be crazy if that happens?
It's been a great race all night long. These guys have put on a show for us here. And for my first race being in the booth, I'm proud I got to call this one. It's been very exciting.
Yes, sir. And it's going to be just that way here in a few weeks when the Xfinity gets back on track. Think of what we got coming up. I think we got Austin, Texas. Circuit of the Americas coming up. That's going to be wild in a few weeks.
Road course racing.
Yes, sir.
A little bit different spectrum for these guys. It's going to be a points breaker for some of these guys. Really, some of these guys that you see that are strong out here every week up front, sometimes their skills can be tested there. And that's where these championships can be contested, is them 3-4 road course races a year. That can be the maker or breaker for you.
Make or breaker can be a big one here. And keep in mind, man, not only do we have the league going, but the endurance side with Interstellar Esports. We got Sebring coming up here at the end of March. We'll be racing in that. We know we're going to Watkins Hour for the 6 hour to Glen.
I'm going to participate in that one myself, the 6 hour and the 12 hour.
Nice, man, nice. And we're looking at maybe Nürburgring next year. We're not going to give it a whirl this year, I don't think.
I don't think. I'm a figure 8 racer, and I'm going to tell you now, I don't have the kahunas. I'll be in the wall within 3 or 4 corners there.
I did something really crazy yesterday. I ran there in the rain.
Oh, wow.
You want to think about nuts.
You know what? It's strange to say that track is just so huge that literally I have a hard time. Like, I remember it from, like, other games growing up, Gran Turismo, shit like that. But, like, you get to the point, like, it still changes in iRacing. This is the most realist thing you can get, seeing the real thing on the real track. So taking that back, it's a lot more difficult, and I still can't get my lines down at that track.
So it is so big, I kid you not, with the new weather system we have in iRacing. It was raining on the second 7 miles of the racetrack, completely dry on the first 7 miles.
Yeah.
Think about
crazy.
that. So no matter what tire you had on, you were going to struggle through a certain portion.
Sound like me, like a setup. It's basically sets you up. It comes down to being a driver.
Yep.
You're either going to take it easy like a grocery getter and just make her to the end, or you going to push it and try to be all the way at the front. I mean, rain can throw a big wrench in here. And I kind of say this lightly. NASCAR is known to dabble with their trucks and their Xfinity series in the rain with rain tires and wipers. So potentially, I'm not saying this season, maybe it may be coming to NASCAR. I see it coming.
Wouldn't that get very interesting? As we are coming to 16 to go this time by, as we take a look at the field off of turn number 2, that almost confused me again with the new layout, headed for 3 and 4 this time by with Adam O'Brien and George Glover, your top 2.
Adam O'Brien, I talked to him earlier. He was sitting 18th and took a gamble here, sitting on the front row, 16 to go here at the green. He gets a good jump on it. The 72 there is the 72 kind of has the squabble with them old tires.
Look, we made it cleanly through the restart though. No stack up.
That's probably the cleanest I've seen turn 1 all race long.
Now, Paul out front, slightly older, a little bit.
72's on them old tires. You got to think. We're down to these last 15 laps. These guys are going to give it all that she's got. But look now, that 15, them fresh boys, eating him alive right on the bottom. Here comes that 52 in the 10 car following him as well.
Yeah, and they went all the way to the bottom. They'll wash up, take the now what's going to happen here? Kendall's car is going to start pushing really bad because now he don't have the clean air.
Yeah, and he's on them old tires. He's slowly going to fall back. I'm saying he might be able to pull off the top 10 if he can really battle, but he's probably going to fall back to 14th, 15th spot by the end of this.
Kyle right
I guess
across
they
the middle of
agreed.
Wax.
Ooh, that 13 car almost got in the back of him and took him around. He gets around him.
Owen way high, slides up.
That 52 car is looking strong on the outside. He's been hiding all race long, Matt. He's been sitting and waiting, and he's getting around that 10 car right now, potentially going to go for that lead.
Owen trying to pick something up for Parker Esports tonight. He'll draw even down the start-finish line.
The 13's going to look to put a fender in there. Oh! That camera angle made it look worse than what it was, but man, these guys are cutting it close.
They are absolutely dogfighting now for position. We're at that point of the night where it picks up and it is go time here in Phoenix, my man.
13's going to give him the bumper. Oh, it shoved the 52 up. I'm surprised he didn't get into the back of that 10 car. It's going to get him out of his groove. That 13's going to take a dive, and that 39's going to follow. And a caution is out. 12 to go. Caution is out.
To quote Run DMC for a moment, I think that bump was a move, bitch, get out the way.
Yeah, it was a little tough there. Good hard racing going on. Like I said, I'm predicting a caution here, and I still think we're going to have a green-white checkered. These guys are going to give it all they got now. They're at the end. This is all the marbles right here. And talking about a points battle, we're 4 races in. We got a long season ahead of us. But this potentially, every point matters. One position is 1 point. Every point you lose just gives that next guy the more advantage on you.
Kyle out front, holding on in the 15 with the 10 there behind him.
I don't know our past winners here this season or nothing, but as any racer knows, you have your critiqued racetracks. You have your favorites. You have, the tracks you go to, your top 5 car every time. Right. But you also have them tracks where you're, dang, I might be 18th, 19th, 20 spots, out of 38 cars.
Right.
And those are the days you really got to fight tooth and nail on pit strategy and stuff like that to get your points. Because if you're good at 1.5 miles, but you're not good at short tracks or road courses, well, a good 3rd, 4th of your season is nothing but road courses and short tracks.
Yeah, you're going to have your hands full, right?
Yeah, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to gather points. So some of these guys that have a tougher battle and that come to these 1.5 miles, like Phoenix, they potentially have the car to do better. Some of these no-name team drivers, you know what I mean? They come in here and they have a potential to do something, and they can do something with it. Well, them later races, they got to take everything they can now to get the points while they're there. Because them other races, when they get 8 up, that's when they lose. So they got to gain it now.
Yes, yeah, they do, and it'll be less than 10 to go when we go back green, buddy.
Pretty sure we'll probably be getting the one to green, but I don't know if you've looked up top recently, but we got a new fast lap.
And that'll be the 13. Kyle Heath setting 3rd with that fast lap. That will be
187.
Yeah.
That's about the lap right before the caution. These guys taking them fresh tires, they got the short, couple laps. They can burn these tires all the way up. They only got 3-4 laps on them, and they're essentially only going to have probably 2-3 more laps left of this race on them anyway. So they could give this car potentially 100% and just hope and pray they can make it. I'm just wondering if we ain't going to see a Hail Mary here and someone really drive in deep on this outside line and try and drive up on these leaders, maybe that 13 or the 52. Drive in a lot deeper on the outside and keep their momentum up and be able to carry that momentum off the corner and eat them up on the straightaway. I'm almost wondering if someone can't pull that outside off.
Yeah, exactly. Try to work the top and make it happen. 8 to go.
It's going to be a tight knit race. This whole top 6 that I'm looking at, the 51, the 10, the 13, 52, the 39, the 94, the 64. These guys have all been up here all race long with each other. The 39 kind of came in late, 13 kind of mid-bloomer, you know what I mean? He wasn't a late bloomer. He came in just in time, you know what I mean? But he's here now, and that's what matters. And these guys, they're going to put up a fight. They've been here all race. They've been cool with each other, but you're less than 10 laps. All the hand games go out the window.
There we go. It's 8 to go. Lights out on the pace car, ready to go. 8 to go, 2 by 2. Who's it going to be, man, to pull us off?
Man, it's going to be a tough one to call, but you know what I'm really laughing about right now?
What's that?
Think of these pole sitters right now on this long straightaway leading this whole field down, less than 10 to go, and you don't know the result of it. That anticipation is beaten out of their chest. But
Here we go. Kyle, here we go. This will settle it in Phoenix. Field 2 by 2, like the animals going to Noah's Ark here out of the Geico restart the box here. Nice jump for your race leader.
he's going to get out on that 10 car. The 13 got a good start there, and so did that 52. Look, the 52, almost looked to the outside of that 13 car. 13 car's looking strong here now, though.
Man, that's a hard line to hoe up there on the top with the 52.
Yeah, he's losing momentum. He's driving essentially a little bit too deep. You can drive deep, but you don't want to go too deep either.
How do you do that? That's going to be the question, right? You're trying to go in there deep, but not overdrive it, but have the run off. So many things that you're trying to do.
As you see, the 15's running a little bit higher than that 10 car. The 10 car is trying to lay a block on that 13 car there, and he's trying to hold him behind him. So I think with him in his mirror, he's going to have a little bit of pressure. I'm almost wondering if he ain't going to be able to hold him back and that 15 be able to hold his spot.
Oh, well, bobble.
Oh. He's peeking to the inside of the 10 car. He's going to drive it up in there on him. 10's going to hold him down on the line. Puts it on his door.
Kyle really doing everything possible to try to get there.
Lose the momentum. Just lost it. Oh, that 96 car nicks the wall coming off turn 2.
Oh,
These
man.
guys are giving it all they got. 4 to go this time by. 4 to go. 196 in.
You're absolutely going for it here before to go.
This has been a long one. These guys have been riding it out all night long. They're itching for it, and they can see it. They can almost taste it. It's just, can they do it?
I don't know. They're trying to figure it out.
That 13 drove in about 5 foot deeper than that 10 cars. He's going to look to the inside of the 15 here off turn 4. 15's going to get the momentum to hold him off, but that 13's going to come to the outside. Oh.
That angle made it look worse, but we've got a 3-car fight for the win tonight coming to 2 to go.
Hey, teammates, I don't know who's who, but man, he's going to put the bumper to him as we come to this 2 to go mark. And I'm going to tell you now, everything is out the window. Everybody wants that win. You win, you lock in. You want that win.
All right, here
That
to the
10's
bumper.
not giving it to him. Coming around this time out of turn 2, they will be coming into 3 and 4 to the white flag.
Oh, man, right on the back bumper. Headed for 3.
He's going to drive in on him, give him that little bit of a nudge, try to get him out of the groove.
1 to go. Whoa.
He's going to try and hold him tight all the way down to that inside wall. 13's going to look, but gets the door shut on him.
Oh, big.
10's going to drive in.
Nudged
Gives him a
him.
bump. Gives him a bump, looking to the inside.
3.
He's to the inside of him. We got a drag race with it. Puts him in the inside wall. 15 into the corner. 13 on the outside. Who's going to get it? Side by side.
Out of 4, they're both in the fence. The 15.
15.
Are
I
you
think the 15
kidding
barely
me?
got him. I think the 15 got him.
Wow.
Wow, this is
Holy
going to be a
shit.
ramble. This race is going to be carried out through this season. These 3 guys just made one major rivalry with each other.
Look at that at the start-finish line, man. That car completely turned in the fence.
Not only, it's a double whammy for this 51 car. Not only did he piss off the 10, he also pissed off the 13. He put the 10 in the wall in the backstretch, and then put the 13 in the wall coming off turn 4. So he just made 2 rivals for that one win. And when it comes down to the playoff time, if that 13 don't make it, you don't think he's going to remember that?
That was Kyle in the 15, and look at him.
Wild finish. Closes him off in the wall. Inches. You're talking inches.
Wow.
You want to know whose interview is going to be interesting? That 10 car.
Well, he's out there celebrating here, but he might have cost himself some rivalries going
That
throughout
10
the
car is
season.
going to remember that one. That 10 car, if I was him, I'd be pretty heated. He came out third. Luckily, he could save it and bring it out. But that door coming off turn 2, that mid straightaway, man, that's going to be a hot conversation to talk about right there.
Yes, sir. We'll wait on everybody to get in the broadcast booth. But what do you think for a finish like that for your first time out?
Man, it was exciting. These guys put on one show, and like I said, man, it came down them last couple laps. They didn't get the green, white, checkered like I thought, but I'm glad they got to race it out, and it was a heck of a battle down to that last spot.
Well, we'll continue to wait here. We'll get everybody gathered up and ready to go.
The 13 car ended up laying our fastest lap of the race with a 27-126 with only 5 laps left in this race. And 9 lead changes all race long. It was a battle all race long.
All right, Kyle, Matt, and Dakota in the booth. You're going to hang on for that one.
Yeah, that at the finish line, I didn't want to do that. I was just so tight. I couldn't even handle the car. I mean, I was just turning left as hard as I can, just trying to get off of him. But that thing with, I don't even know how to say his name. He moved me 5 times, so he's expected to get something back. But, it's not really racing. I'm not going to lie. That wasn't really racing. That was really dirty. But yeah.
I'll give you that. Being a man and manning up to your mistakes, as I called it in the booth, I was like, that one looked iffy coming off turn 2. And I almost wondered if there wasn't something there. But looking out, you're 4 races into this season and winning, you're locking in, correct? You're locked in. But carrying on 2 rivalries, you not only did it to the 10, you did it to the other one too. You gained 2 rivals in 1 lap. How's that going to carry out towards your championship hopes?
This is actually my first race. I don't even know if I'm able for playoff contention, but
in theory, you
like
should be if you make enough.
Yeah, if you make enough of them, you will.
But the 13, I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I'm gonna message him here after the race, but the 10, I don't know. He's been acting like this all race. He put me in the wall twice and then moved me the last 5 laps. So I don't know. I mean, he was either gonna wreck me in turn 4 or he was just gonna move me so I lose top 3. But honestly,
you had a strong day here. It was a pretty good win for you here and your team and everybody. How'd the car kind of handle as them laps wind down? You guys took 4 tires there. If you guys wouldn't have had that last caution, you think the tires would have came into effect on the long run?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was trying to save my right front as much as possible, and that allowed the 10 to get to me. And I think it was 1 and 2 a lot. And he was trying to get around me right there. And as soon as we took those tires, you had those people who stayed out. And when I on the restart right there, I don't know what happened. He started in first, and I guess he missed a shift because as soon as I was shifting up, and next thing I know, he was going around. So I don't know really what happened there, but the right front really just judged your race. How is it gonna be? If you kill it, you're gonna be in the back. If you save it, you're gonna be up in the front.
Got you there. Glad to have you up here as our winner, man. Congrats once again. If Matt has anything to say to you, I just want to say congrats. It's your first time in here just as much as me, so welcome on, brother.
Thank you.
Congrats, buddy. Congratulations, man. All right, we'll move along to what will be P2 with Kyle, and I'm sure this will be very interesting to see Kyle's input. Kyle, Matt in the booth got a copy.
Yeah, I got a couple. So,
all right, man. What's your thoughts on the final lap? You come home second.
well, is this PG-13 or rated R?
We'll go PG-13 for now.
All right, well, that dude who wrecked me is a you-know-what. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it was a very dirty move. As you're looking on, I asked him the same question, so I want to ask you this. Going out of this race, you guys ran a tight race. You were up front. You were fast all day long, and we were calling it right down to the end that you were going to be there with him. It was just who was going to make it first. And I knew when he did that, he not only shoved the 10 car down on the back straightaway, closing you off in the wall, he gained 2 rivals to lock himself in the championship. Is that going to hurt him in the long run?
Oh, yeah. He's hurt. me and the team were just talking in the waiting room. Yeah, he's not happy with him. I'm pretty sure probably what happened, well, what he did was really dirty. And honestly, I think the win should be taken from him. Just to give everybody in this league, hey,
And eye opener.
that stuff ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, respect is
it-
everything out here with all you drivers. You guys gave respect all night, man. You should
Yeah,
be
I
proud to
mean-
get second. I mean, you ran a heck of a race. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean tonight it was up and down night. One of the restarts it was a bottleneck and I ended up getting damaged and I came into the pits and got it fixed. And then I think one of the cautions I was about to get peed on. I had to go to the bathroom. So that took extra time, but I fought my way back up and I figured I was going to at least be top 10, just outside of top 5, just how my night was going. But then I found myself in third near the end. I was like, I just got a chance, and then the leader did that stupid block and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to run on the outside. I'm going to get this win. And then he does that stupid crap. So, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
You were my pick going into turn 3. I was pulling for you on the outside. I was shouting all the way down the straightaway for you. And see that kind of result, man. It pulls on you, but you never forget. Congrats, man. You drove a heck of a race.
Yeah, I mean, the whole night. I mean, at the beginning, my car was not. It was real pushy for some reason. I was hoping it was going to loosen up some, but it never loosened up until I think it was the last full pit stop. It was actually starting to really dial in on me, and that last restart, man, I knew I had to go, but it just sucked. I ended up short, into the wall. But I appreciate the cheering on for me though. I had it, but I didn't have it.
No, you drove a good race. You were patient all race long, and you did what you had to do. I'm gonna let Matt take it over from here, man.
Oh yeah.
As I think you probably left us
I'm
for a
sorry
minute.
about that. I had to get back to the unmute button. I hit the wrong button like a no word. Man, like I said, I hate to see the incident happen. You were in good position, and I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be looked at. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's finalized, but you just never know. It depends on the leagues and the rules, man. It could play out, but you never forget. I know how it feels.
Yeah, that right there, that number would never be forgotten throughout the rest of the season. That's for sure.
Well,
Well,
man.
good luck to you in your points run. I'm gonna let Matt finish her off.
Yes, sir. Again, man, we'll see you soon, Kyle.
What's that?
I'll see you soon there, buddy.
Oh yes, sir.
All right. Discord trying to act up on me there for a moment.
I thought so.
Yeah, I love Discord some days. Let's talk to Matt. All
This
right,
is gonna be the one.
Matt in the booth, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna come home third here tonight, man.
Yeah, and I hope you're ready to learn to listen to the truth because I'm not gonna hide anything.
Yeah, as we've seen that last lap, got a little iffy there. You led a good portion of this race, was strong all race long, and to just be there in that situation to be drove like that, how's that feel? And how are you going to look into this?
Here
going
we
forward?
go.
It's a fucking joke, man. What the league
Oh.
look to see that? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but what the league look to see that? Look, all the people, you did a really good job, and you have this kind of show. I'm curious to see when he talk about I put him 2 times in the wall. I don't know when, but I'm curious to see that, man. I'm really curious because I gave him the bumper really soft on just to put him away on the groove. And this is Phoenix. This is how we do. This is how we do, man. It's Phoenix. I could bump him 2 laps ago when I was 210 behind him, but I wait to be on his bumper to do it clean and just move it out of the groove. And this is what I did. And he did that. And what he's doing here, just look at the rules. He's 5K iRating. Go read the rule book, man. I'm just pissed, man. This is just it's joke, man. You did too good job to give this kind of show.
Yeah, as we come into this race, it's only our 4th race into this season. You got a little bit of a long stretch here. Kind of one snagged out from under you tonight, and a lot of frustration there. Is the other guy that got second had just as much frustration as you. You were strong, man. You're gonna come out of here pretty good on points. I gotta give it to you, man. That was a heck of a save to keep it out of that wall. That was a heck of a save.
Yeah, thanks, but should not happen. We shouldn't see this kind of dumb move. This is level of what we saw at Daytona. This is 2 times in 4 races. So I think there's something to do because like 50% of the race we saw this kind of move. Just not acceptable.
Well, going on to your season and looking down the road, you're looking to be strong. What are some of your favorite tracks you're going to be looking to be quick at here?
Oh, definitively Kota. If you think we are fast in oval, just wait and see on the road course. We came all of the from F1 and tried coming on iracing on GT3. We are strong on oval, but we are road course driver at the base. So just watch out.
As me and Matt just had that conversation not too long ago, we were just talking about road courses coming up. Some of these guys not going to be really good with the road courses. You'll really find out, and having 3 or 4 of them races could really potentially hurt you. So you having that good side, you may already have a potential spot to lock yourself in.
Yeah, I already won Atlanta, and this is kind of roll the dice racetrack. I think I proved today that when the talent needed, I'm gonna be there. So it's not just super speedway racing that we see some guy with all the respect that are in front, that not in a race like Phoenix, and just be sure I'm gonna be always in the front. So that's a statement tonight, and I'm pretty sure that in the road course, all the team gonna do a great job.
Well, after a good race and your pit getting you out, your pit crew helping you out, getting you out up front all race, you stayed pretty good and steady all race long. You didn't really move around a whole lot, so being steady and taking your points, you got all the stage points you could get. Is there any sponsors and stuff you'd like to thank before you head out of here?
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna thanks Red Bull Canada for sponsor our F1 league and our iracing league, iracing team. Sorry, Six Sigma Simracing, Grill Mobile, DP Solutions d'impression ultime débosselage. And thanks to you guys, you do a great job.
Alrighty, man. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Matt. Well, all right. Thanks, buddy. All right, guys. That's going to about do it. Thanks, Dakota, for coming out tonight, bud.
Hey, no problem, man. I enjoyed my time up here with you in the booth. We had one exciting race, man. Can't wait to come back in a couple weeks and be here with you all again and see where the season leads off. We got an exciting end there, so I can only imagine what the season's about to hold.
All right, man. We'll see you guys next couple weeks for Xfinity Trucks tomorrow night, and then we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Dakota.
Yep.